who is new.
We're live. Welcome back to All the Action. We are officially back for round number 12, season 5, at the final round at Coffee Cup presented by the Old Guy Racing League. Round number 12 being the Nürburgring Combined for a 90-minute race. So 30-minute extension that our cars get to go around track, and perfect sense made there. It's a good old 7 to 8 minute average lap time here, depending on how fast our drivers are. And looking to be quite an interesting race here today in the GT3 class. My name is Tristan Earps, joined in the commentary box and the production booth by Jim Cunningham. And Jim, we have got quite a race on our hands yet today. The Nordschleife plus the Nürburgring GP in GT3s. This is going to be a great race to watch today.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited for this. I'm a huge fan of the Nordschleife. Just Nürburgring in general. This is my favorite track to drive. I'm not the fastest guy in the world around here, but I love this place. And what a great finale. I mean, this is kind of just the ultimate culmination to a season, an epic track. I mean, when you want to end a season, you kind of want to end it on a bang. Well, there's no tougher place in the world than this track right here. So, I'm super excited.
Well, there's a reason it's called the Green Hell, and we're going to get that approval here today. As we will probably have a couple of incidents. I really don't want to call the karma card here, but it is Nordschleife. It is 3 different classes running across the board here, all in the same GT3 class, but different levels of competency. So from Pro, Pro-Am, and AMS. And talking about those 3 divisions, let's go through the points breakdown before we head into this qualifying, which has already started for the time being. But it is going to be Ryan Merriam up in front currently for the Pro division, 537 points, just an odd 30 or so points, about 28 points difference to Gearing just behind in second. So I think there might still be a couple to play for here. So we're not going to call anything just too soon in this round. Cook just behind in third. Jeremy Cheney will take fourth currently. Smalley in 5th position. Bradley Tidwell and Tim Probert in 7th position. Young currently sitting 8th with 428 points. And Sebastian Fack only 3 points off of him from 8th and 9th position. Alan Purser down 420 points. Jamadan Horvaton, and he currently sits 403 points. So a bit of a push to try and get into the top 10 for today's racing. Brian Faluna down 12th with David Van Roy in 13th. And Diaz down in 14th position. Bradley Lovings 15th in the Audi, unless he's decided to change for the final round. Riley is down in 16th with Claudio taking 17th. Michael Dion down in 18th with Bauer taking 19th position. Sierra 20th currently with 185 points to his name. Hillerich in 21st. Rich, Maverick, Posey, and Nuhi down in 25th position. Unfortunately, only here for race number 1. He hasn't been able to attend the rest of the races here. But that is currently what it looks like for our Pro division. Moving over to our AMS, it is currently Bond who leads it in first position, 448 points, and only 4 points ahead of Rahul Pasta heading into the finale round here. This is going to be sudden death for the 2 up in front. Heath Olinger also just within the boundaries there, just missing out on the 440-point limit, and so about 5 points difference between himself and Rahul Pasta. Williams down in 4th with Bailey, Hanault, Price, and Dickerson rounding off from 4th position down to 8th. Also loads of positions to fight with those drivers over there. Lowalski currently sitting in 9th position, and Hathaway in 10th position. Dukowski down 11th with 293 points to his name, and Cloden and O'Brien in 12th and 13th position. Hansen down in 14th with Kinsbury and Du in 15th and 16th. Karali currently sits in 17th with 84 points to his name. Belts, Acker, and Savorak down 18th, 19th, and 20th with Smith, Ortiz, and Atkins rounding off your 23 total drivers in your Pro-Am. And then last but not least, our AM division, which we've gotten a bit of a word from our league organizers that it's pretty much wrapped up here for Curtis Matthews, and he essentially just needs to come across the line all fine and dandy here today to take the win in the AM class. JT Sawyer just behind him, 377 points. Jay Gardner in 3rd. Williams down in 4th position. Jelle Soens, our Belgian driver, down 5th currently with 341 drivers. Reese just behind him in 6th. John Schneebel, it takes 7th with Risley in 8th currently. Sackett and Slane in 9th and 10th position. Carlson currently sits 11th with David Stoops, our previous Beaver Juice runner, in 12th position. He got a bit of the boost last time around. He doesn't get it this time. Bogan down 13th with O'Brien Also one of our drivers who got a bit of a boost a couple rounds back. 14th, Hoskins. Currently sits 15th. Champlin and Abbott, 16th, 17th. Wolford, Koch, 18th and 19th. Tassini, Ulmer, Coria, and Kunfer down 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Unfortunately, most of those drivers not attending the ending races and only the few beginning rounds in this league. Frey, Marshall, Hayes, Origa, and Ullman, your final couple of drivers on our AM class. And again, those drivers not completing any of the most recent races. They were with us in the beginning, but unfortunately dropped off as the league continued. Once again, our final time, we'll get to mention it here, as it is unfortunately the last week of running here for OGRL. But there is some great stuff that will still continue running after the Sunday Coffee Cup. It is the Rookie Like Road Course running on Mondays, and that's all things rookie. Free cars, free tracks, as long as you've got the iRacing membership. The ARCA Championship takes place Tuesdays, with the Hometown Short Track following just after that on a Wednesday. Thursday, Thunder Trucks. The NASCAR trucks will take to it on Sundays. And then obviously the final time running here for Sunday. Just for the time being, there'll probably be another season here of the GT3 Coffee Cup, but we're heading into the final one here for Sunday, and it's going to be a good one, Jim.
Yeah, like I said, I am really excited for this. We've got about 7 or 8 minutes left here in qualifying. We changed the format up this week. This is we're doing an hour and a half qualifying, and no warm up. So I think we're going to jump right on in and get knock the track map out. Especially since this is a 10-minute lap around here. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to do the whole thing. But no, there will be no warm-up period today. They'll go straight from qualifying to gridding up. So we're going to go ahead and do the track map now, which, again, this place is such a phenomenal track. If this is not something that you drive on the regular, you need to come over and give this thing a whirl. It is so much fun to drive.
And to our diehard fans, no, we will not be going through every single corner here at Nordschleife. Unfortunately, if you want that, there's a YouTube video for that one where we cannot sit for 10 minutes looking at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, but it is the 24-hour layout. And if you've ever driven here, you'll know that the Green Hull proves quite a bit of a challenge. The GP circuit is very nicely laid out for the GT3s, but the forest hidden section of the Green Hull is where it stands out. Massive gradient change all over the board here today, with the highest part starting up at our GP circuit. We'll get a short bit of track overviews. I'm not going to go too much into detail here, but this is going to be a rundown into turn number 1 of the combined circuit, obviously on the GP circuit portion as it would be. If you continued normally on the GP circuit, you'd continue up right, but you turn left on the combined circuit. This then takes you onto the straight, heading towards the left and right-hander, which eventually leads you on to the Schumacher races here on the GP circuit. We've got quite a bit still to cover here, a good 23 kilometers of total driving on the Nürburgring Nordschleife combined track culmination. And you'll all know the beautiful spots around the GP circuit. Unfortunately, we cut straight to have a bit of a preview of our first stint going into the Nordschleife. Again, a complicated stint where braking is going to be your lifesaver. You need to get the braking correct in these GT3s in order to prevent lockups and prevent yourself sliding over curbs. The barriers are neatly close on the left and right hand sides. Not too much runoff that you've got to play with here at the Nordschleife. You head down onto the long downhill straight, which heads into that right hand corner. And that right-hand corner can prove quite challenging if you do not take the flick right, which we probably won't be able to see here. We're going to skip a bit forwards ahead into our final sector here, going through the Nordschleife. And again, a very, very common corner if you've ever watched it on TV, heading up towards the first carousel. Again, a technical corner that if you do not get it right, you can be chucked out on the top right-hand side of the carousel, completely ruining your lap time. You've got to get into the channel, get the car rotated, and bounce out at the perfect angle to position yourself for the remaining few corners, and until you head to the massive back straight that rejoins the Nordschleife to the GP circuit. Again, a bunch of culminated left and right corners where you have to make sure you know the track layout. You know where to brake, you know where to coast, you know where to flick that car in, as there's a lot of blind spots around this track. Heading down towards the bottom left-hander, where we have most of the time the GT3s get a little bit of air time here. If you've driven this before, you know that the GT3 can actually jump, and it comes up quite soon actually in this track. And so I'm not too sure if we'll see it on our preview or if it's going to get skipped, but it is coming up shortly as we head down to the downhill before we head back up towards our GP circuit. And a long runoff. Here comes our little jump. And it usually happens no, never mind. Wrong part. Just coming up a bit further ahead. Yeah, wrong segment. But it's been a while. It's been a while since we've driven the combined circuit. But In any case, that is your overall running here at the Nordschleife. Again, this gives you a bit of motivation to stay watching for the rest of this race. If you do want to see all that the Green Owl has to offer, we're not going to display everything here, but the GT3 cars will be showing it all while they race with each other out on track today.
Yeah, you could not cover every corner in a track map here. It would get you for sure. But yeah, this place is it's definitely interesting, and I have to say, my funnest race I've ever done here. I did one in the and actually I believe they're here this week on the officials, which is the Lotus 49s are racing here this week. In the on I believe this version of the circuit, but either way, and you talk about getting airtime. Those Lotus 49s have no downforce, and they fly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple spots where you'll catch air for no exaggeration, like a full second of airtime.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, and that can get quite chaotic because the landing, if you do not have the throttle or brake input correctly, can completely throw your car off. And need to also see Max Verstappen taking to the track here in the past few days, racing in the Merc for his own team. So
unfortunately,
man of multi-talent. Yeah,
Did
unfortunately
you hear
getting
what
disqualified
happened?
though. Yeah, I heard the disqualification. Imagine one tire set over and throwing away an entire race. But in any case, let's hope that doesn't happen yet today in our 1.5 hour. We'll get your live timings board on the left-hand side to check where all of our drivers are currently positioning themselves. But it is Ryan Merriam, the driver who has not been here for the past 2 races, but still holding himself up at the top of the GT3 Pros, trying to keep himself at the leading chance here at the GT3 Pro class. Jelle Soens has got the best chances yet today, though, with quite a fast lap time compared to Chris Slane in second. I mean, wow, that is actually a massive difference between Jelle Soens. He's really managed to get himself up there. That's over 8 seconds faster than second in the GT3 AM classes. And then your GT3 Pros, it's pretty much tied between Paston and Williams. Bailey about 4 seconds out from the top 2 up in front. But qualifying is about to be done and dusted. 1 minute to go. And I don't think there's going to be overtime laps here. Unfortunately, once that time ticks to half an hour, I'm pretty sure it's going to close it off, as they've had well over 2.5 hours of qualifying. As Jim mentioned, no practice this time around. They got their practice and qualifying in one, just because of how long this track is. You know, one of those practice laps could have been a really good lap, and you know, at least now it counts for your qualifying time. So we'll have to see how the rest of the drivers manage. We currently see Will Bailey, and I believe the car behind is not going to be in terms of relative. So it's another one of our cars trying to set a time before the closing. But it's 15 seconds left. Will Bailey heading down the back straight now and through the first of the left chicanes. We'll see now if they're going to get immediately cut out or if he's going to be able to at least come across the checkered flag. We'll have to wait and see, as Will Bailey seems like he's a pretty good flyer of a lap here. But is it going to be enough to beat out the likes of Williams? And it looks like they're all going to be able to complete their laps. So that's a great thing to see. And Will Bailey going to come across the checkered flag line now. Is it going to be enough to boot Williams out of the second running? Is he going to be able to climb here, or is he going to remain in third position? And not too sure if it's updated yet. It doesn't look like it was faster, though. And Bailey remains in third. That's your qualifying done and dusted.
Yeah, there's a couple cars still on track. I'm actually surprised they're letting them finish these laps because, I mean, in theory, we could be sitting here for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
You know, if somebody just started a lap, but it looks like they are. So with gearing here, he's just about to hit the long back straight. Obviously, the famous Bilstein Bridge there, as they I can't remember the name of that back straightaway. Do you have that on your track map?
I do have it. Yeah, let me quickly
really famous
have a look.
name. I just can't remember what it is.
Trying to have a look here. It's not exactly showing me. I'm seeing I'm seeing a lot of German. That's
well,
for sure.
You know, you don't read German? No, I'm kidding.
You do?
No, I can't remember the name of that back straight, but yeah, it's.
Is it not Dottinger? No, I don't.
Yeah,
think
yeah. That's it. What is it?
Dottinger. Yeah.
Yeah, Dottinger.
Dottinger. Yeah. Something like that.
It's that's correct.
A bit of a complicated one.
Yeah, that's correct. Obviously, you know, big overtaking zone there, massive amount of draft, as you see the Bilstein Bridge there, as Bradley Loving went under that, or is going under that right now. Huge overtaking opportunity here, coming towards getting back to the GT circuit, or the Grand Prix circuit. I mean, that's really going to be your last major passing opportunity before the start-finish line, if there's going to be any last-minute changes here. Typically, I mean, these cars are going to spread out around this place pretty quickly. This is one of those have and have-not kind of tracks. Either you're, either you're fast around here or you're off the pace a little bit. But I think that should just about get everybody done. And then we
looks
will,
like
think everybody.
looks like everyone's cleared off track.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm looking at the track map. I don't see anyone. So, I mean, I'm hoping for our sakes. Otherwise, we could be sitting here, like you mentioned. If someone just started a flyer at the end there,
that
then
would be horrible.
sitting here for a good 8 minutes.
And I imagine they're going to run the short run up. They're obviously not going to do a full lap.
Short formation lap.
Yeah, they're not going to do the full
definitely.
one. So,
there's that portion of the sprint circuit where you can cut off and repeat the sprint circuit. So that's probably what they're going to end up doing.
Well,
in that formation.
My guess is they probably will start somewhere around the Bilstein Bridge there.
That's, or that. Yeah. They could also start on the Nordschleife and then just head on to the track. But imagine doing an entire formation lap around the Nordschleife. My goodness, that'd be like a 16-minute lap.
I guarantee you'd have accidents, though. There's just places around there that two cars aren't going through. In fact, if you race officials here, which I do a lot, there's a lot of times that drivers just kind of agree and go single file through that last set of turns before. Well, the last set of turns before you come back onto the GP circuit. If in some of the officials, they don't come back onto the GP circuit, and cars just agree in officials to start the race going single file there because it's just such a disaster. I wonder why it's not flipping.
I can imagine that. And I see qualifying is still ticking down.
Yeah, but there's nobody on track. I don't see anybody that would be holding it up even.
I'm not seeing anyone ticking either. The only person I can see ticking is Curtis Matthews, is currently in the pit lane. And it hasn't marked him as complete.
I bet you that is what is causing the problem.
Yeah, it looks like his pit lane timer is still ticking down. So I think the game might think he's still in an active pit stop, which might be the case. So I don't know if anyone could communicate to him maybe and let him know to maybe just return to pits because he's just sitting there right now. Yep. And that's probably why the session is not forwarding, and I don't think we can force forward either.
Well, they can. We can't. Let me see here. See if he's in a chat. Of course, I can't jump out and go tell him, so.
I do see a couple of them sitting up in a voice chat, but don't see
I don't see Curtis.
Our main man of Curtis Matthews,
I don't see him in that chat. Oh, let's see. Well, let me see. I'll send a message to Curtis and see if he's watching his phone currently.
Well, we'd hope for that. Otherwise, we'd be sitting here for the next 10 minutes watching a car relax in the pit lane.
It looks like he just cleared his car.
There we go. We've officially forwarded session. All right. So just a bit of
all right, Curtis, you're going to owe the league for extra broadcasting money. All right, let's get this grid going because they're always a big one around here. So
yeah, let's get it going indeed. Miriam lines up on the top row after not being here for quite a while. Vladislav Poklonsky will be taking second position here. So he flies up on the top row. Second position, though. Third position, apologies, coming in with Tim Robert and Sebastian Fack taking that second row. Sebastian Fack, great qualifying from him as well to get up in P4. P5, though, Hayden Young and Jeremy Cheney currently sitting alongside each other in that third row. Row 4, though, and P number 7 comes in with Alan Purser. And Alan Gearing, unfortunately, no, apologies, Jelasun's got that better. And Jelasun's up in P number 7 with Alan Purser behind. Apologies, forgot about the mixture of our classes. And there's Aaron Gearing in 9th position. Bradley Loving's getting himself into 10th with the Audi. That is an attractive look in row number 5. Row number 6, we move down, and it is indeed going to be Bradley Tidwell with Raul Pastor chasing second position currently in that Pro-Am Championship here at the Nürburgring Combined. Jonathan Williams will take 13th, and Brent Cook lines up alongside in the McLaren 14th position. 15th onwards, though, as we keep going down our grid order, it is Will Bailey who we just saw complete a lap, and Heath Oling alongside him in P number 16 here. Obviously, this is all overall positioning. Chris Lane, 17th position, and Stephen Smalley down in 18th position. It's a Porsche lockout for row number 9. Row 10, though, it is going to be Pernell Hanault and John Gardner, who take P19 and P20 alongside each other. P21, though, coming from Danny O'Brien and Brian Dukowski in the Corvette down in 22nd position. 23rd is going to be coming from Curtis Matthews, the guy who currently leads the AM Championship and has the best chances alongside Robert Sackett in 24th position. 25th onwards is going to be Wesley Smith and JT Sawyer alongside him in 26th position. 27th, though, in row number 14 is going to be the likes of Scott Carlson and Damian Hoverton, not getting a great qualifying yet today, down in 28th in the Pro class, unfortunately. 29th is going to be Alexander Claudio and Paul Corrali in 30th position in his Mobil 1 BMW. 31st is going to be Cody Bont. We've gone past. There's Cody Bont. Oh, we're going past quite a few.
No, it's...
we're going backwards. There we go. We're eventually filtering. There's Cody Bont alongside Quentin Price. It's another Porsche lockout for row number 16. Row number 17 coming along is going to be P33 of John Schneebel and Mitchell Williams in the Corvette in 34th position. 35th coming onwards in row number 18 is going to be Charles O'Brien and Dustin Dosvais in 36th position in his BMW. 37th coming along, your final driver on tonight's grid is Micah Dickerson, after not getting the greatest qualifying in the Mustang, but he gets to observe the chaos from behind as the green hull is going to pick its favorites here tonight.
I'm not sure if
today.
I'm not sure if being in the back of the pack is necessarily a good thing here or not. It can get quite chaotic, and yeah, that's so we'll see.
He's gonna pull a Lightning McQueen, jumping over suspensions, finding some spots,
Apparently, Lightning McQueen is all over my broadcast these days for some reason. I've got a commentator that does NASCAR with me who has an 8-month-old, so he's living Lightning McQueen on the daily basis now. And so, yeah, he constantly talks about Lightning McQueen as well. Yeah, they are definitely doing the short run up here down from the Bilstein Bridge.
Yeah. I'm glad. I'm very glad.
Yeah, no, I've never seen a full lap here.
I don't think it actually exists.
Probably not even an option, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's just too long for the cars to be going around. Nicholas Marshall, just before we get started in the virtual grandstand, wishing Chris Lane, his new teammate, the best of luck here in the final round at the Old Guy Racing League. Great to see some guys jumping in at the virtual grandstand, and make sure you stay tuned for the racing action, because it is all about to get started as the pace car is going to pull in right towards the pit lane. Lights are off, and there we see the diversion. It is going to be Ryan Merriam alongside the rest of the grid as they all pile up behind him. Vladislav just alongside him, heading down into turn number 1, which would normally be the hairpin, but it's going to break off left, and Ryan Merriam has got an absolute launch of note here for the final round and completely put Vlad under a couple of points of pressure behind. And Vladislav already under pressure now from Tim Probert, who dives on the outside line. They're going to convert to the right-hand flick. Tim Probert now at the inside corner has managed to get himself into P number 2. The rest of the cars a little bit chaotic already, and someone's off on the left-hand side. That's Tim Probert, I believe. No, not Tim Probert, his secondary teammate for the Sended Motorsports team. And so much contact already at the start of this race that we've seen. There's Ryan Merriam going through the hairpin. The Dunlop hairpin section now just up in front. Curtis Matthews as well. What's up with Curtis Matthews a bit further behind?
Oh, he got
we do see him
gone.
Down 5 positions.
No, he got tore up there. Front end's gone on the car already.
All right, so he's got a long way to work. Yeah, we'll get to live timings up, but this is going to be quite a bit of a journey here for Curtis Matthews. 1.5 hours to go as we see the clock ticking on the left-hand side. Again, Curtis Matthews fully kitted out. I mean, look at that chair even matches the goggles. It's a full bucket seat. So I think he's got the motivation to continue. Yeah. He's got a championship to run for. So Curtis Matthews will keep the high hopes.
He's got his corgi gear on.
He's got the corgi gear on and the corgi next to him on the couch.
Right. Yeah, he's a big corgi guy. So he breeds them. I believe it's show dogs.
It's the team manager. It's the
that is his team manager, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of, spreading out here as we get through the Grand Prix course. I actually like the Grand Prix course here. There's a lot of people that aren't a huge fan of it, but I personally think it's a
I also love it.
Yeah, it's a great track, I think.
Very technical, I can't lie. It does prove a bit of a challenge to the GT3s, but personally I love a bit of technicality because it makes the racing all the more skillful. And that driver who we saw backwards early on track was Hayden Young. He's out of the race. for the time being. Yellow Soon's on the curb. He's beached it, and he tries to cross at a busy moment. My goodness, that was close. And he almost gets side cut by a McLaren. He's able to rejoin, though. And Jim, I think he picked the correct moment. I'm not going to lie to you. If he had to wait there, that would have been all the way to the backside of the grid. It was a little bit dangerous.
And he didn't hit anybody, so I'm going to assume that he checked his relative out as we enter the Nordschleife portion of the track here. So I tell you what, did you see the giant curb he jumped there in that?
Yeah, I did.
So I beached myself one time on one of those curbs. I went to back up to turn my car around.
That's a talent. That's a talent.
Well, the curbs here are huge. And literally the car got beached on the
someone's
curb.
backwards again. Someone's backwards again at the back. I don't know who it was, but there's, I believe, a Corvette in the background who was sideways at the top of the hill as they head into the right-hand side, trying to look at the relative for who's dropping off. Charles O'Brien's dropping off a bit, but it's not him. I'm trying to look for Corvettes that are dropping off here. Yeah, a lot of off tracks. Hayden Young is in the pit lane, and it doesn't look like he's
down.
Smalley.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smalley's he's just retired. Meatball flag for Heath Olinger as well. So Heath has found one of the walls here at the Green Hell, and like I mentioned, it's going to start picking its favorites. It's already picked 5 favorites so far in this race, and we're only 3 minutes in.
Right.
Ryan Merriam, though, my word, Jim, look at this. 2.1 seconds up ahead. Well, he's just going to continue to climb for the rest of this race.
The thing is, man, at this place, you can get away. You know, if you're fast here, I'm going to go back and try to take a look at that absolute chaos that occurred going into turn 2 there as the beginning of the race started, and see if we can see they start to come around the hairpin here. Then all hell starts to break loose after that. Get a few cars. One goes sideways there. That's Hayden Young, and then I think Curtis. Yeah, Curtis hit him in the front, and then somebody hit Curtis in that purple and black car from behind. Actually, it wasn't as crazy as I thought it was going to be. There's another. That's Curtis and somebody else again.
Yeah.
Who was that with Curtis there?
One of the Porsches, I believe, John Schneebel. Yeah, it's John
Schneebel?
Schneebel who. Yeah, I see Schneebel's currently 24 seconds off from the rest of his pack in the GT3 AMs. So I think that might have been Schneebel involved with Curtis Matthews. And yep, it is indeed the grey Porsche, the grey and black Porsche. And so it looks like there's Curtis Matthews on the right.
So what happened here? Because Curtis was way ahead of him.
No, it's not. That's not Schneebel. So there's another grey Porsche,
and
there's the other grey Porsche. Yeah. So same livery almost. I don't know who that is. Robert Sackett's still out on track.
What does Charles O'Brien drive?
No, he's in a Mustang. Quinton Price, Cody Bond. I know that's not Cody Bond.
It's definitely not Cody Bond.
Scott Carlson. I don't think it would be Scott Carlson. Maybe if we go to Scott Carlson. We've also obviously got Stephen Smalley. But Stephen Smalley just had an incident now that's into the pit lane.
I think it's Smalley, but let's see. Let's go see if we can see what happened to Smalley that caused him to have to tow back to the pits. Man, I'm not going to even begin.
Someone's off in the middle sector there on the track map. You can see it over there. What number is that? I believe that is that John Schneebel again. No, I don't know if it is, but someone's just standing still in the entry sectors there at the top left of our track map. I'm trying to see who that is.
Michael Williams, possibly. There's literally so many.
Yeah, no, there we knew there was going to be chaos on lap number 1, and it's slightly untrackable at this point. So here comes Michael Williams, and grinding against the side skirts on the left-hand side. But it doesn't look like it was him. There's the car next to him who had contact with. That's the car in front who had contact with the likes of Curtis Matthews. But who is that in front of? I'm trying to figure this out, but it's a bit difficult with so many cars on our grid right now. Is that Robert Sackett? It might be Robert Sackett. I believe it is. If we go to Robert Sackett, indeed it is. But it's Robert Sackett.
Good job. Yeah, number 32.
Number 32. So Robert Sackett made the contact with Curtis Williams. Curtis Matthews. And he seems to be fine. Back out on track.
Curtis Matthews. Get sideways. That right there.
That is odd. I have not seen that before.
Oh, no, I have. I absolutely done that. I tell you what, he did a good job of not popping out there, because you can once you do that, you can shoot right out and it'll launch you right into the wall, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. He did a great job.
Building
No,
a bit of
he's out of his rhythm now. Boy, I tell you what, this is another thing. You get out of your rhythm on this place, and
that front left looks heavily damaged as well on
it
Bailey's
does.
car.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's got some suspension damage in the turns. It looks like he's struggling to get the car rotated. So
let's see what
possibly. Let's have a look at the standstill.
Passing.
Yeah, he is kind of sideways. He is slightly to the right-hand side, so it looks like the left hand is a little bit damaged in this car. You can see it. Yeah, that left-hand turn is going to be a little bit of a struggle for him. Will Bailey trying to make it around the track as they head towards the final stages here of the Nordschleife, and they'll head to the back straight. There we see Curtis Matthews still out on track with that front damage, so it looks like he's managing it for the VWE team. Currently sitting down in 4th for his class, so he's still within a points distance here, and I think he can still win the championship in his current positioning. He's got Chris Slane giving him a run for his money just behind him, and Chris in a different division, but still trying to work his way up here in the Pro-Ams. We'll have to see how it goes between these two. We've still got the replay overlay on, but we'll get your live timings back to you now. There's Jeremy Cheney, someone who we've also seen really improve over the past couple of races, and he's currently running down in 5th position, just behind the likes of Sebastian Fack. So we could be seeing an overtake coming down into the hairpin now, side by side between our two Porsches, 15 versus 42. And Jeremy Cheney's had a much better run on the exit of the Nordschleife, heading down into turn number 1 of the GP circuit. It looks like he's going to have it under control here and holding that inside. But remember, it's going to convert to the other side. And now it is going to be the inside line for Sebastian Fack, but he might overshoot it here and allow Jeremy Cheney to get the switch back, but unfortunately not. And Jeremy Cheney runs slightly wide. So they'll continue in their standard order. They've got to watch out for Lovings behind in the Audi. He's slowly starting to creep up on them and may contest them in the next couple of seconds. Bailey and Price both into the pit lane. So I wonder if they had a bit of an incident and require some repairs.
That's people coming in for repairs already from
Corrali as well.
You know, there's going to be probably a few of those as well. As you can see, they're steadily
definitely
pouring in there. Not surprising. Again, there was a lot of cars damaged on that first lap. A lot of incidents that were just considered off tracks where they, ended up just hitting the wall. And this place, it's so brutal. There's just no runoff area here. It's, any mistake you just get punished for here so bad.
The biggest thing is going to be we'll have to see how many laps Ryan Merriam does versus a couple of other drivers on the grid, and that's going to really prove how the mid packs have gone. Here we have Bradley Tidwell, our probably the most joyful spirit out on track usually, not last week with the Lamborghini and Suzuka rain, and looks like a much more happier lad in the Lamborghini now that the track actually grips to his tires. He's just managing it nice and easily.
An absolute beast last week for him, man. So apparently Curtis is in getting his car worked on, I think, right? Did he not come in?
No, he's up. No, he's still in the.
It looks fixed now.
No, it does look fixed. So, mate, and he has lost. He's lost over 5 positions. So
he did pit.
Yeah, he has definitely pit. He's come in, got the car nice and fixed, and back out on track.
I'll tell you what, not a place you want to burn your fast repair in lap 1.
No, definitely not. And it seems like he has used it because that was a very fast pit stop. I would try and save a fast repair for that imminent moment that may come where you cause way more damage to your car and not just a front bumper issue. But
one of the
obviously,
things that nobody ever talks about here is the tow. If you get damage, and you can see those GT3s getting air right there. If you have to tow from in this place, it could be a 10-minute tow job.
Literally.
Yeah. I mean, no exaggeration. 10 minutes.
Yeah, and not to count the damage additional, and especially if you don't have a fast repair left. My word, Jonathan Williams, overtake on a jump. My word, this guy is dedicated to the position grind.
That is the reason I don't drive a Porsche here, right there. There's just no weight on the front end of these things, And I just do not like the feeling of a Porsche around this track. I love the Porsche in general, but here, I just do not get the feeling I want from the front end because there's just no weight on it, and it gets so light around here in so many places.
Yeah, that is to be expected when your entire
everything.
power unit is sitting in your boot. Basically everything sits in the boot. of the trunk, as you guys would say, but boot for the British and and the South African fans and watching from the virtual grandstand. But let's generalize it: the rear side of the car, right?
Yes.
The utmost rear side of the car is where it all sits. And so yeah, 100% agree. That front end is way lighter than something like a Mustang, and
or even a mid-engine car, though. You know, I mean,
yeah, even mid-engines. Yeah,
the way that engine hangs off the back of the Porsche, it's just, you know, to me, it's just not a feeling I like here. A lot of people like driving the Porsche because it's nimble, you know, and it can handle these turns, you know, pretty well because of how nimble it is. But for me, it doesn't give me the feeling I want from the front end. I would much prefer a mid-engine car here.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. And some would say that it's a better pick for something like the Porsche, especially if you're going to land up with your front end in the wall. Obviously, you're not going to really experience much engine damage if you plant the front face of the car into the wall. But the likelihood of you banging the side of your car or even the rear side of your car is equally as likely as hitting the front here on the green hell. So it's pretty much a fair fight among all these cars.
This place does not discriminate. It will tear up every end of your car for sure.
Exactly. As long as you've got four wheels and you're going at acceptable speeds, the green hull is going to classify you as a risk.
They are coming right here. See, this is a very high-speed corner coming up right here that you pretty much have to take matted, you know, and then you get right here, and then you're going to get this right-hander, and then you come down, and it's another right-hander before you head into the carousel. I have smacked the wall right there. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's got a target with my name on it right there on that wall. And then, of course, you come down here into the carousel portion of the track, which is obviously one of the most famous turns in all of motor racing, I would argue, you know. All you got to do is see your car go through there, and you immediately know where it's at, you know.
Absolutely. 100%. That is, if you see carousel, you immediately know where you are.
Yes.
It is, you know, it's like those specific corners at specific tracks where if you see it, you know exactly where you are. And with Nürburgring, and Nordschleife, the carousel also just by the concrete patterning and obviously the gradient of the corner. I don't think any other track exists. I mean, obviously Monza's got its huge historic banking, but that's not really driven in modern era racing. But this is one of the only concrete bankers ever driven in modern racing, and so it's pretty easy to pinpoint where you're at. Additionally, Zandvoort. The only track really with Zandvoort as well. That's a good point, but that's more of an asphalt based.
And plus the graffiti on the track here is another thing that immediately when you see the graffiti on the track, you think the Nürburgring. I mean, that's just all part of this place, man. There's so many off track graffiti. I don't even want to show most of them because it's just.
Oh, that's a damage.
Well, that's that purple car from the. Look at this.
Oh my
God!
My goodness, Robert Sackett. There's a corner there, my friend. You've got to brake for it.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know what the thought process was there because he dived on the inside of the slow McLaren, but I didn't see the brakes. I just didn't see the brakes.
I need to see that again. That was crazy.
I think the green hull might have confused him there.
Well, that happens too if you don't know this place. So he gets a crazy overtake, catches the curb, but look at the two wheels against the wall, man. That just goes to show you how much speed he was carrying through there. Wow. Okay.
Let's go back and watch that one more time, but on board if we can.
Okay,
if we can. I just want to. I just want to see he's on board. All right.
I can do that.
I just want to see, potentially if he knew what was coming, because look, you do get confused with the corners here. There's way too many corners to sometimes try and memorize, especially when you're overtaking. So I think he saw the opportunity and they just forgot how much of a right hander.
I think the curb messed him up. I think that
potentially
he caught some air off that curb. And he couldn't brake the car, I think, because the car didn't have a good contact patch, you know. I think that's probably what happened to him there. But you're right. I mean, I'm no exaggeration. I probably have 500 or more laps around this place, easy.
And 500 doesn't sound like a lot to the normal circuit.
No, that's a lot here.
23 kilometers a lap. That's a lot. It's a lot of lap time.
Yeah. And I know this place. It's to the point, if you show me from an in-car camera, I can just about tell you where somebody is in every aspect of this track. And the corners still catch me off guard.
See, I can do that as well, but I'm not going to give you a corner name. I'm going to give you a trauma story.
I don't know.
I'll be like,
I don't know
that's the spot where I banged the left-hand side of my GT3 and almost
I
lost the
flipped
car.
right here.
I know where you are. I know where you are. I feel like that's a common likelihood for most to drive with the green helmets. You make notices of corners from past trauma. You're like, all right, cool. I've done this at this corner. I'm going to avoid doing this in the next race. And that's how you remember the corner. You don't remember it by any breaking points. You remember it by a trauma story.
It's true. At this place, that is absolutely true. Our buddy Curtis Matthews, man, it's a good thing he's virtually got this thing sewed up because let's just say he's struggling today. No, this is not Curtis's best day. Them Corgi, the team manager's angry at him. Look, you can see the Corgi in the background giving him the side eye there.
I was saying, by the looks of his camera, you could see he's sitting in the pit lane. He's got no hands on that wheel. But he doesn't look stressed. That's the thing. I think he's pretty locked in.
Like I said, I believe that mathematically.
Okay, I'm gonna. You keep this live. I'm gonna go quickly pull out the rule book. I need to go look at the point calculations, and we need to see what kind of fight Curtis Matthews needs to throw himself into today.
I think what you're not going to see though is the drop score. I think that he hasn't missed a round, so the drop score is what's got it sewed up for him. No matter what happens today, the drop score he's got coming in is enough to keep him in first place. From what I understand, he broke it down for me this morning in a message. Basically, that he couldn't lose the championship today because of that. So it really has to do with the drop score, I think, is the key. Because he hasn't really 100%. Had too many bad rounds this year. He's had so many that he won. And he's made every one, so he has no zeros,
Yeah, 100%. No, so the drop scores are going to play a crucial role in this, and he's probably done all the background calculations before today and made sure that he's on the boards. I can't find the points tab, but like you say, even if I do make the calculation, the drop around is going to be the important part because it's all going to come down to this race as a whole once it comes to an end. Dustin Dos Spies just jumping over the curbs. I don't know if that was a replay or if that's live.
It's live. I haven't kicked it back into the...
There we go. We've kicked back into gear.
Well, it was that was essentially live. I just didn't it didn't have the live timing back up in accordance. But yeah, that's my mistake here. I get so caught up in the action sometimes that I forget I got to do that. That just goes to show you how big of a fan I am. To be honest with you, I enjoy this racing so much that I forget that I'm broadcasting sometimes. It really feels like I'm just sitting around watching some racing with a friend, or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially at this place. I just, I love this track. It probably doesn't make for the best broadcast, because you don't get a ton of side-by-side racing because of the nature of this track. But it sure is fun to drive, man.
Absolutely. It's more like I feel like it's more like a mountain time trial, like when one car goes at a time. And exactly. And you watch their lap, and most of the time the action that we get on the broadcast is unfortunately going to be self-inflicted. And it's when a driver makes an error somewhere, not necessarily a racing incident. As Jim mentioned, there's not really much places to overtake at the Nordschleife, other than your two main straights and a couple of heavy braking zones. But most of the time, people are just trying to survive and
unless
see the
you launch it over a curb, like
yeah, true. Unless you're Robert Sackett and you've got some. I see. Curtis Matthews is actually in the broadcast interview room, we could pull him up right now.
Yeah, let's pull him in.
Let's pull him in. We've got Curtis, which I presume you're currently relaxing in the pit lane and waiting for the car to be repaired. Is that why you've joined us here today?
Oh, that's why I'm here. How are you guys doing today?
Good, man. If you click on the screen, you can actually see the live feed, which is obviously a little ahead of your if you're watching it on YouTube. So if you want to comment on anything, you'll at least be up to pace. But yeah, obviously tough day so far for you. probably is not exactly how you wanted the race to go. Luckily, as you explained to me this morning, you're not under a lot of pressure here to hold on to the championship lead. But still, I'm sure not the way you wanted to end your season.
No, yeah, it's definitely not. I haven't had much time to practice on the track because I've been sick all week. I've been in bed for the past 2 days. But this being the final race, I really wanted to try to make it out here and race with everybody one last time before the season ended. But yeah, it didn't go so well at the first lap. And there was a car sideways in the middle of the track, and I didn't get a notification, and I ran into him. And then we just a couple more bumps, and went in for my fast repair.
What happened with the Porsche? Right. So I saw you hit the car that was parked, and then you got down the track a little bit more. And it looks like you and who did we determine that
Robert.
was?
I think it was Robert, wasn't it?
Was it Sackett? Yeah. But either way, you
it
got
was
involved
Sackett.
with the Porsche not long after you hit that parked car. What happened with the Porsche? I don't think we saw that. We just
I honestly don't even know. I really don't. All I know is going straight, then I was sideways, and and my steering wheel wasn't straight anymore. So I was like, all right, well. So, I mean, the car was doing good. Like honestly, through the Nordschleife, even with the steering wheel not straight, I was still handling pretty well.
That's saying something around this place.
Yeah, but my last lap driving by myself, I just overcooked it in that turn. So, but man, I'm having fun.
This place is a blast to drive, and I have to say, with the lack of pressure as far as winning the championship for yourself, you really can come out here and have some fun, even if you wreck it. It doesn't really matter. So, which takes the heat off of a place like this for sure. So,
yeah, it's I'm very thankful for what Tidwell did with the season.
Good season,
and I was very fortunate to win the championship. I was sitting there doing the math yesterday, figuring out where I need to score. How far I need to be ahead of JT Sawyer to be able to clinch it, and doing the math, I was like, even if he took P1, I still had a drop week. Oh, there's Bradley. Dude, that thing is crazy.
Look how much it seems like he added height to it.
So, talking with him, so me and him have been working on this a little bit. So he actually put it on a platform just because how much vibration there is.
Yeah.
So he has springs and everything under that platform. So it's two platforms combined with springs to help cushion the vibration so it doesn't rattle through his
pit
house.
road now, I see. So where are we at here? So he's pitting already at the 3-lap mark. That's interesting. I would have thought, and you may know this, I would have, from my calculations, I thought you guys could go about, you could do a solid 4 laps before you had to pit.
Yeah, you roughly get around 4.
4.5 is what my calculation was, but that depends on the car and how heavy your foot is and all of that stuff. But
yeah, I was able to get 4.7, but obviously when I wrecked, it really didn't happen.
Yeah, like I said, 4.5 was my rough calculation kind of across the board for all the cars because I haven't used it yet. But to give you an example, we'll focus on, say, Ryan here. We've got some new telemetry software that we just put in, as you can see.
Yeah, it looks cool, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so we got a fuel gauge down at the bottom as well now. That kind of gives us an idea. Yeah, and not as important on this track because obviously we know 4 laps. You can't make 5. So everybody, so it kind of gives us But at a regular track, sometimes it's questioned whether the guy's going to come in on lap 22 or 24 or whatever, and this kind of gives us a better indication. Plus, it's a heck of a lot better looking than the old dashboard software.
Yeah, no, it looks cool. It actually kind of reminds me of I was sick in bed yesterday and I was watching the Sebring 12, and they had the energy meter, so you can see how much energy they had left before that pit, and it kind of runs like the same thing. So no, it's cool, man. That's a cool feature. I like it.
Yeah, it's you know, the guy that's making this stuff is, man, he's elevating our software. You know, that he's the guy that does the cool grid now where we have the cars and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So, and we've got just all kinds of things. Like I can, at this point, I can turn that off as I'm just showing you. But for the viewers at home as well, we have the ability to, I can say, I want to look at the top 10 in the pros. I can click this and I can pull up the top 10 in the pro category. And then I can like switch that to Pro Am. Well, I have to turn it off so it doesn't double over like that. But yeah, so I mean, we've got just some really, really cool stuff that this guy's bringing to the table. I have to say, man, I could watch Brad drive on this rig all day long.
Oh yeah, dude, it looks so much fun.
I mean, it's probably not fast because the way it's slinging you around, you know. Look at this battle right here. Look at Damien and Tidwell. They are all over each other here.
Oh yeah, those guys are quick. But I'm gonna head back on the track.
Yep. Yeah, man.
So you guys have a great broadcast. It looks great, man.
Yeah, thanks for stopping in and chatting with us. And I would tell you that good luck the rest of the way. But you know, at this point, we'll talk to you after the race, obviously, to celebrate the championship and things like that. But yeah, go out there and have some fun, man.
Yeah, I'm in my VR, so I'm going to go just do a nice little Sunday drive, and admire the view, look at a castle.
Through the German countryside, that's right. You might as well enjoy yourself.
Hey, man, it's a beautiful day.
Hey, by the way, we saw your team manager sitting in the background back there, and when you crashed that second time, you could tell he was giving you a little side eye. He wasn't too happy with you. So I see Corgis are supervising today, so...
Yeah, they're enjoying it. They've been helping nursing me back to health, so they're the ones that forced me to get on their rig today.
There you go. All right, man. It was good chatting with you, and we'll talk to you after the race.
All right, guys. Have fun broadcast.
Yep.
Cheers. Was that good to speak to?
Yeah, it's cool. I hate the circumstance that we got to talk to him under, but, you know, again, for him, it's not devastating or anything, so that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to know that he's not in some tight championship decider. Otherwise, we would have had a different Curtis Matthews, and it would have been a more stressed one. But thankfully, he's pretty calm, like he says. Going to go admire the German countryside.
As much as he's dominated this season, for it to even almost be in question at the last race of the season is saying something, you know, because.
Yep. It
seems like if you look at it, like he really dominated this season, you know. And I've said it so many times this year already that I'm so happy for him because, like I said, he and we used to be very equal on pace, you know, and so I know that the level that he has worked to improve himself, and well, I'm telling you, this Kurt gets me here all the time. I know how hard he's improved. How hard he's worked to improve, and I truly can appreciate that, and I'm just happy for him. He's a good guy, you know, and for those of you that don't know, he obviously has I think it's a breeding for kennel for corgis, and it's called Blue Angel Kennels, and Curtis worked for, he may still work for them, but I'm not sure. But he definitely did work for the Blue Angels. He was part of their ground crew, I believe. And which I'm not sure, being South African, if you know who the Blue Angels are, but they're.
Of course I do. That would be disrespectful to not know.
Well, I mean, that's, not necessarily, but that's cool that you do know. But yeah, he was part of the ground crew for the Blue Angels, or maybe still is, and so that's where that comes from. But, yeah, he's just a good guy, man. It's good to see the hard work pay off. I mean, like I said, he was mired back there in the back of the field with me for several seasons around here. And to see the improvement, he truly has earned this championship, and it's going to be fun to watch him move up.
You know, not me sitting here with an RC modeled F-18 Blue Angel sitting behind me. So,
do you really?
I do really, and
that's
it's,
hilarious. But I
So,
mean, you know,
definitely-
you're from South Africa. It would be very easily for you not to know who they were as well, you know. But
most aviation enthusiasts in the country would know.
yes, I didn't know that you were an
Pretty
aviation
famous.
enthusiast. To be honest, I mean, you and I have talked about a lot of things. I know you're a very good nature photographer. We've shared that passion and talked about it. But I did not know that you were an aviation guy. Oh, that almost got bad. Oh, he washed out. Look.
Chucked out. Yeah, he got washed out completely, and a nice little position up there for who's that? That was
Dustin Dosface, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
so different div, but just the position. That's great for him.
yeah, and you got Wesley Smith right in front of him there.
Miriam comes in for his first pit, I believe. Did he make
Yeah.
it to 5 laps on
Four.
one tank?
No,
Oh.
4. They just finished 4 laps. So he, according to my
yes,
calculations, he
yeah,
would have roughly had around a half a lap. It really just depends on driving style and, you know, and all the things. Oh, Dustin kind of shoved his way on through there as Wesley Smith got up on the curb, lost that spot.
Seems like Dustface is hungry today. He's final
Yeah, well,
round. He's trying to make his way up.
If I'm not mistaken, he had an incident earlier too, maybe just an off track. But in fact, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at our biggest mover so far today. Oh, there's our buddy,
Damian
man.
Horvaton. Wow, look at that.
All the guys are
21
pitting, by the
up.
way. This is the big pit lap right here. So.
Oh, again, Wesley on the grass.
Yeah,
And, slow
our
down penalty from
buddy,
the grass.
our drinking buddy, our virtual drinking buddy, since he just does all the drinking, and we just get the drinks bought for us, but he finishes them off. So
Exactly.
Cody Bond,
And,
good run from Cody, man, up 15 spots already. Fantastic. Where is he at? He should be. Yeah, he's coming down the what is it? Is it Dottinger Straight?
Dottinger, yeah, the Dottinger,
Straight under the Bilstein Bridge there. So he should be pitting this time by. Like I said, everybody who hasn't pitted already, I'm really kind of surprised that Loving's pitted. But I guess if he backed the race up and used an endurance strategy on it, potentially he could, he may have it calculated out to where he had to pit after 3 laps anyway once. So maybe he just did it early. You know, that's a typical strategy that you would use in endurance racing, kind of back the race up and maybe take your short pit stop early to get out of traffic or something like that. But, yeah, there's a nice little battle right here. I'll tell you what, Vlad, I think he sent us a message or something that said he's more than happy being called Vlad, which I think is, I mean, you know, it's an absolute
what a lifesaver.
That's a cool nickname for sure with the Guinness
Basically,
beer.
Jim, that's his way of telling us that we don't know how to pronounce his name and rather just call him his nickname instead of trying to teach us how to pronounce his name.
Yes,
so.
that's right. That is correct. That's exactly what that really was. Yeah. Look, you guys are going to screw my name up because you butchered anyway, so just go ahead and call me Vlad. We'll just go with that. Do love that livery, though. You and I are big livery fans.
Does he have a tag above the word Guinness that says "Made in Ukraine"? I think did I just see that?
Oh, maybe.
On the left-hand side, where we're gonna. See
he
it
is
on the
Ukrainian,
camera now.
so.
And I know he's Ukrainian, but I think I saw. Or is that just his name on the Ukrainian flag? I think that might be the case.
Yeah, it is.
No,
it's his
just
last.
name on the
Yeah,
Ukrainian flag.
it says Vladislav. I believe is how you. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I'm pretty sure that's how we pronounce it.
But and the Ukrainian flag, which massive support to the Ukrainians, it's you're probably right though. We were just like butchering his name so bad. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it, guys. Just call me Vlad. But I do love this Guinness livery with the tiger, the shark mouth on it, reminiscent of the old military fighters from World War II.
Is he promoting drivers behind him to drive faster because he's got the word creamy pints on the backside of his car? And I don't know if that's maybe like a dream chaser for the people behind. Like, oh yeah, I want.
I'll follow you for a creamy pint. Yeah,
exactly. I love the creative liveries. What do we see on? I think Peterson. We've seen. He had quite a cool badge on the backside of his spoiler in another league we've done. I love it when they put some creative elements
Oh,
in
yeah.
the car that
Yeah.
not everyone would notice, but if you look at it long enough, you'll see it sticking out. So
Well, what's cool is you get like if you're on board here with O'Brien, not that Cody has anything, but when we do this camera angle, well, we got to be a little closer, but yeah, you can read their back wing, which is always cool, you know.
Exactly, exactly.
This is my
The
personal favorite part of the Nordschleife track right here. This opening sequence here, these quick right and left-handers, yeah, and then you come down for this right-hander, and then you come back quick left, and then you got the straight uphill here, and right when you get to the top of that hill, you catch air in a lot of cars, and then it's a fast sweeper off to the right here that'll get you. You catch this air right here, and the car does get airborne there, and a lot of them do.
I was gonna say this first part is also my favorite, but not because in general it's my favorite, just more because it's the sector that I mainly survive for the longest. You know, during practice laps you get to about these next couple of corners, and then one error or one slip up.
This spot right here will get you if you're not careful, because you're carrying so much speed, and you crest that hill there, and man, the car just wants to run wide to the right there and throw you into that guardrail. This place, it just has so many nuances to it. It's so fun to drive when you really get to know this place, man. I can't emphasize that enough. And I know that, you know, the first thought I had when I remember coming here was, my God, how do you learn a track with 160 turns? You know, How are you ever going to know this place? But you do, you know, and you can.
Like I say, you learn it through trauma. You find this thing.
You do learn. That's true, though. Like, I know what's coming next. I better slow up. I done wrecked here before.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know I've seen that Marshall's eyes before as my car comes piling in at like 65 kilometers an hour into a low speed corner. It's a good old trauma track, like I've already said. It's one of those tracks where you come up to a corner, you know what you've done on this corner before, you know what the grass does to you, and so you avoid it at all costs. And you know that the grass, I feel like at this track has got some form of gravity pull, because if you touch the grass of this track, it completely rips you off of the track. It literally takes you out of the tar, takes you off the asphalt, and into the grass you will go, and it will keep you there. You know, it gives you a nice warm hug that you've got to stay on the left or right hand side, and not the easiest one to get out of at high speed. And so your main objective is to stay on that asphalt at all costs possible, even if you've got to slow the car down ever so slightly. And something like that where Quentin Price just did, if you just touch that grass under braking while turning, that could literally be it for your entire race. You could chuck that car flying left or right hand into a tight braking corner, and that could completely total you for the rest of this race. There's another one of these extreme corners. You see that BMW just behind Yellowsoons, behind Quentin Price. That is a risky dive on the right hand side of there, just touching the grass. You saw the spurt coming from the back right tire. If he went any further there, Paul Corrali, that could have possibly been a rear end loss and into the left-hand wall. So there's so many, like you say, nuances with this track that you don't realize. And there we see Paul Corrali exiting the carousel. Even the exit of the carousel there, that exit, like the exit little bump, if you don't take it right, it can completely unsettle the car.
100%. Yes, 100%. I mean, it truly is nuances is the exact word for this place, too. Because, I mean, and the thing is, man, you could be going great, and you just miss by a split second, and you catch a curb, and the curbs around here can be so brutal. You can see the height on them, you know, and it's so to be fast here. You've got to ride these curbs too, and you're just constantly right on the edge of death. I mean, and these are 8-minute laps. I mean, there's no rest here. I mean, you know, literally the only spots, the only real spot is the long straight under the Bilstein Bridge there, the Dottinger Straight. I'm going to try to remember that now. That's the only place you get to rest around this track. I mean, it's 8 minutes of white knuckle racing around here.
Indeed it is. 8 minutes. I wouldn't even call it racing, Jim. This is just surviving, like we've already said.
I love your analogy earlier of the fact that it's basically like a hill climb, like a timed hill climb, because you're really not racing other cars. You know, you're basically
really
battling the track and the clock.
Well, yeah, for Merriam, this is literally a time trial over and over again. 30 seconds ahead of
So I
Robert.
wanted to say, if you look in the chat, somebody said,
I saw that. I just saw it as well.
the way this is going, Merriam will be flying his plane before Probert finishes. Apparently, Ryan is a pilot. So
Taking a private flight back to the
yeah,
Americas
I know,
after
right?
finishing off the Nurbs.
Yeah, he. I mean, the guy is so fast. But you know what, though? The thing is, man, you could be an hour out front. It doesn't matter. One curve here, and it's all over with.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point, is that there's not a lot of recovery spots.
No.
Especially in the Nordschleife. So
No.
in the Nürburgring GP, you see that there's a lot more space on the left and right. And a lot of gravel runoff for you to obviously make a couple of errors. It's made for, your GT circuit racing, where the longevity of a car is more important. But man, as soon as you head into that Nordschleife, it becomes a personal challenge.
Well, I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason they pulled it off the
yeah.
Formula One the schedule.
Exactly.
I mean, back in the 70s, there was not enough room for the track to be safe for the speeds these cars travel. And as you see him now entering onto the Nordschleife part of the track. Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's guardrails right on top of you because you're either, there's some cliff that if you miss, you're going to go plummeting down and die. Or
it's like the PTL of man.
I mean, if you go back through history, I watched a documentary on this place, and, you go back through history, the amount of guys that have died here, it's insane.
Yeah.
And of course
it's a bit of a
the accident that finally closed the place, which it was on its way. Oh, they're pitting. Never mind. I saw people dropping. Wow, they're already in for their second stops. Quentin Price.
Second stop.
That's strange. So anyway, I'm sorry. I lost my train. Squirrel. That's my ADD.
The last accident.
Yeah. So the one that closed this place down and finished it off was, of course, the wreck in the Ferrari of. Oh, come on. What's his name? Help me out.
Niki Lauda.
Yeah, Niki Lauda's crash where he burnt, and the reality was Formula One was so unsafe back then. Jackie Stewart had a bad accident here. And they loaded him in the back of a pickup truck.
Yep.
I mean, that's where they were at in Formula One back in those days, with safety. And that's the reason that Jackie Stewart became such an advocate of Formula One safety, and was a big reason that the sport got safer, was just because of that,
Well, I mean, to be fair, when you look at the Nordschleife, I don't think anyone could actually picture this as a Formula One track. It's just, it's not built for a Formula One car.
No, not today.
They realized, yeah, exactly. They realized that in the 70s, and that's obviously when it got closed down eventually, after numerous people unfortunately lost their lives here. But in modern day racing, it happens far less frequently. Obviously, the incident in 2015 with Jan Mardenborough, but that wasn't with the driver on track. That was with a spectator on the outside who unfortunately was in the pathway of the flying Nissan GTR. But that again is just, it happens. Sometimes it's racing, but the incident count here has definitely gotten less. And like we mentioned, it goes from driver casualties just to more a bit of a personal challenge of trying to keep the car alive, not yourself. The roll cage is there to do that. But like you say, you could be 1 hour ahead in this race. You could literally be gone. And one incident, no matter the recovery time, because the issue, there is no recovery time in the Nordschleife. If you take your car out and you bin it into the wall, that's a tow back to pit lane. Okay, that's 10 minutes, like you say. And if you don't have a fast repair, you could theoretically be sitting there for the next 45 minutes getting your car repaired.
Oh yeah,
and,
or just out of the daggum race. I can't tell you how many times I've screwed up on the last lap of an official or something. You just throw the race away. See,
exactly.
Brian Dukowski looks like might have had a little incident here. Let's see what happened. I do love this livery on this car too. Oh,
I've just overshot turn one.
Exactly. I don't know what happened there. Just
unless he loses it, yeah. Because this is
I think the software registered how slow he was going.
This is Jim and Cody Bont at Suzuka was
Yes,
this was your pet peeve.
Oh,
And now Brian Dukowski's taken that spot over there.
speaking of Cody Bont, let's check in on him as he's closing in on the back of Dustin Das Vase here.
Yeah, well, the live timings board will come up on the left-hand side
I
again.
do that often here.
And yeah, that's why I try and give you the small hints. You know, I'm not the kind of guy to directly address it. I'll just be like, it'll appear eventually, and it does eventually.
What's
appear.
funny
Let me
is
see all the purples.
you are. I do work with people that are not near as subtle as that. Let me just say that.
Oh man,
a
good subtlety shows your skills sometimes. And what I was saying is that you can see all the purples have now culminated up in front. It's first down to ninth. All the pros have managed to get themselves well into the packs there, but the proms and the yams are pretty much mixed up. Here's a bit of an incident. This is Cody Bont and Das Vase, apologies, and down right. Who made an error here? Was there a bit of grass touching going on? Das Vase, there it is on the outside. Like I said, that grass is deadly. It pulls you in, doesn't let you go, and Das Vase loses out two positions to
freight train here. Look at this.
Yeah, absolutely. And fortunately for him, he didn't land up in a wall. The grass pulled him off, but he was able to recover it. So he found that very, very small recovery spot in the Nordschleife. So good job there to Das Vase.
This freight train, man. We got 6 deep here.
Yeah, we got a long train of cars here. And again, the overtaking is going to be difficult here, like really difficult. So it's pretty much going to stay like this until we see personal incidents like we just saw with Das Vase, just running off too wide, and it allows the other drivers behind to get a bit of an entry. So that's probably going to be the common overtaking procedure for most of the action here tonight. To this morning, I keep saying tonight, as usually the commentary happens at night, but I know in the Americas right now it's neatly up in the morning time, and heading out for some racing to start off for guys Sunday. My Sunday is about to end. It's almost hitting 5 p.m. in the afternoon. So
that's another thing I love about this particular league. A lot of as you and I have talked, your weekends are your family time and things like that. And in America, like where I live, I live in Texas, so we're in Central Standard Time there. So this race starts at 8 o'clock in the morning for me, and it's typically an hour-long race. You can knock this out, and as we see Quentin Price there, you can knock this out and still do the family thing during the day. Kind of an early morning thing, get your racing in, and it's I'm sure I've told this story before, but we've got an hour and a half of coverage here, so might as well share the story again. I joined this league. This was my very first league when I decided to join a league, and I was in way over my head. I hadn't been driving GT3s that long at all. Probably had pushed my license to get there, just so I could drive them. And I joined this league, and I lied about how are you in a GT3? Oh no, I'm fine, I'm good. Then I got in this league, and I was so far at the back of the pack, it was unbelievable. And so I'm struggling, and they were really patient and nice with me, and they don't really care how fast you are. They're here to help. So oh my goodness.
Oh, that's a
that
hard
was
one.
Danny O'Brien.
Yeah.
Oh, he's tore it up.
Yeah, he's torn it up completely, and that's what we were just talking about now, is the fatality of your car. In
he got together with Bont.
Oh, he made contact with Bont. Yeah, he made contact with Bont, and oh my word, yeah, that's an easy way for O'Brien to break up the car over there. So a bit of contact coming in, and Bont got lucky there. He really could have been sideswiped into the wall there, but fortunately he got knocked back.
What's weird is it looks like that's hard to say what actually happened there, man. Oh, Cody ran off track, and he went to go by him, and I don't think Bont knew he was there.
That looked like a little bit of net coding. If you saw
that, it almost did the way it jerked his car over, right?
Exactly, yeah. So it looked like Danny O'Brien was giving space, but the net code obviously planted them a bit closer together, and that obviously led to Bond kind of folding in a bit right. And then that fold in right led to more contact on O'Brien, and somehow Bond got bumped straight. And unfortunately, O'Brien got bumped the right side into the wall. So, yeah, it's unfortunately Netcode claiming an accident there. And like we say, that is all the way to the pit lane now, possibly for that Ferrari. And he's going to have to get the repairs done and dusted. Let's hope he's got a fast repair still tucked away.
Right.
That he can get,
but he's still going to have
through.
several minutes just to get to the pits on the toe, you know?
True. Or if he's willing to drive it back. I don't even know if he did
No,
drive
I
it
think
back.
he jumped.
I think he towed immediately.
I think he tore it up pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, you know, Danny O'Brien already. He.
And then it looks like Cody Bont had another issue after that with another off track. He's flying right there. You can tell he's carrying a lot of speed.
Yeah, this is just going up towards the uphill now. Oh, that is a hard hit on the right-hand side.
That was a pretty good smack, wasn't it? Right at
carousel.
What do they call that? Yeah, I call it the small carousel. I'm sure that's not the name of it, but
I wouldn't try and look over here to see if it's got a specific name.
I mean, I think it does reference carousel, like, you know, I was going to say petite carousel, but I don't think that's the proper name, and I'm sure it's not in German. So
I am seeing, okay, so Caracolia carousel. I think that's our primary carousel. I think that's the main one at the 14th kilometer board.
Yeah.
And then the last one is at the 19th kilometer. That's Schwalbenschwanz.
There you go.
And
yeah, exactly.
That's
what you said.
The full name for it. What I said. what the track map documentation says.
We'll go with that.
Don't quote me on that one.
No, I mean, that's obviously, there's only 2 carousels on the track, so that's obviously it. But yeah, not familiar. I just call it the little carousel or the small carousel. That's the way I would reference it myself.
I just call it second. That's the second carousel.
Which it is. I tell you what, Doug Kowski looks like he's not carrying a lot of speed around here. I wonder if he's limping his car around a little bit.
I think he is. Yeah, I think he is. He did have that off track at turn number 1 a couple of laps ago. Maybe that was already with damage. I don't know if he's maybe suffering somewhere, and that car might be a bit difficult to control. I mean, we're trying to look at the steering degree now to see if he's maybe holding. Here's the jump I was talking about, down the downhill.
Could be a wee bit off. Yeah, that one right there, that lands your car hard, that jump.
Absolutely, and if you slam the brakes just before the jump,
oh no, to kill you.
You know, it absolutely totals your car. Trust me, I've been there, done that. That's a trauma corner. I mean, that's a trauma jump. I know just to let go of everything.
There's so many trauma moments, though. Just like that little S's he went through just there. You know, man, if you catch that wrong, and then here you're going into this. Oh, Jim, I was going to say.
I need you to understand the level of trauma, right? So think of this, okay? A young me, right, joining in on ACC for the first time running an endurance event, okay? Said endurance event is a 24 hours at Nordschleife, okay?
Oh,
pretty big race. Pretty new guy to sim racing, okay? Like how you were when you joined OGRL, okay? Driving in the Ferrari 296, trying to get as much lap time in. Also in a computer that can't really run Nordschleife for that role, so I was at about like 40, 45 FPS constantly. Any case. All right, all that time in practice, our first driver goes out, hits his stint, obviously out on track for about an hour and 15, 20 minutes or so, passes the baton to me. I don't even make it 9 corners, and I take the car into a wall and have to tow back to pit lane. All right, that is the level of trauma that I've got with this track. And then our secondary driver who took over from me also lost it somewhere and then tried to bring it into the pit lane and sped into the pit lane and got us disqualified. So that's the traumas I've had on a 24 of Nordschleife. So I love this track, but yeah, it's caused some chaos in the past. I can't lie.
I said it's funny that you know, I mean, I get it, man. I really truly do get it. It is quite traumatic around here. And Cheney is all up on the back end of Vlad here.
Yeah, that's Vlad and Jeremy Cheney, and fourth, like we just mentioned. Seems like the only battle up in our top 5 right now. Hoverton's on the backside of Fact for 5th position, and hopefully we see some change there. Unfortunately, our top 3, funny enough. Well, no, actually, no, Chenny's on the backside of Vlad, but our top 2 are pretty much in the wasteland right now. We're not going to see them too much on our cameras here.
No,
the only time we'll really see Miriam. Oh, there we see him again. Yeah, a little bit of TV time while we're talking about them. But next time we'll probably see them is coming across the checkered flag line. If both of them can obviously keep consistency for these next half an hours. And half an hour is practically nothing around this track. If we're calculating it, it's about 8 minutes a lap time. It's just about 4 more laps to go in this race, and that seems like nothing. Basically, it really is, because especially when you're the one driving this, that 8 minutes goes by so fast. You are, you're focusing so much, and to the point where you get to that back straight, you're like, oh whoa, I can actually breathe. Let me quickly take a sip of water. And then you go straight into the GP circuit again to go for it one more time. So, yeah, very interesting track. And I would urge those in the virtual grandstand that if you've never tried this track before, even if you don't own iRacing, there's some other sims that have this. I know AC, probably your cheapest bet if you want to try it.
Yeah, Automobilista 2 has got it, I believe.
AMS2's got it. ACC's got it. There's a lot of sims that have it just because of its, the fame, what is the word? Is it famicity? No. Anyways, I'm not going to try Great Birds yet. The level of famousness, famousness is also not a word. The level of being
you just
famous.
created one. I was going to say. Look, here's a pass down the Dottinger here. This is a typical.
There we go. There we go. There comes Damian on Sebastian Fact. Yeah, and this obviously converts again at the end because you've got the left and right hander that then goes onto the GP circuit. So it depends on who's at what positioning. It's the 2 Porsches here, so pretty much equal machinery as they head through underneath the Bullstein Bridge and heading down towards
this is where
primal braking
this is
zone
it right here, though. You gotta
exactly.
It's just about who's willing to brake last there, because you're literally carrying all the speed right there. That's as fast as you're going to go on this track. So,
and it's downhill, so
yes.
Yeah, you literally are carrying everything. You've got the gravity advantage from the gradient, so yeah, it is literally one of the fastest. As you see someone pulling into the pit lane here at the back, that's Bradley Lovings coming in his Audi in 8th position.
Yeah, well, and, he's on that target. He pitted on lap 3 the first time around, and now he's pitting on lap 7. So he did his 3 on his first one. He's doing 4. And then I guess he's going to get 4 more out of it, which is probably just about right. Yeah, 8, 16, 32. Yeah. So he's on the he's on the money, man. I think he just did it in reverse. He did the 3-second stop, the 3-lap stop first, and then he did his 4. And most everybody here in the top most everybody else in the race is going to pit next lap around. So yeah, he's
actually have a look as well at our unfortunate DNF so far in this race from what it looks like. And in our GT3 Pros, Aaron Gearing has stopped the car for the past 2 laps. Doesn't look like he's going to be shooting back out, but we'll have to wait and see. Hayden Young is definitely DNF'd. He's been out basically since the start of this race, since his incident at turn number 1, and it doesn't look like he's jumping back out. Stephen Smalley as well. He had an incident on lap 2, I believe, and he's also been out. Then over to our GT3 AMS, it looks like only 2, Scott Carlson and John Schneebel, currently sit in that pit lane. No lap tick timer for them, so also out on that side. And then in our GT3 Pro AMS, currently the best in terms of DNFs, only 1, that being Quinton Price, who we did see him running just a couple of laps ago, and seems like he's now into the pit lane and not coming out for the past 2 laps. So Quinton Price, unfortunately, also out of this one, but only drive in the GT3 Prams who have surrendered this race. The rest are still out and running. Back on board, though, with Vlad up in 4th position, currently chasing on the backside of Chenny.
This is, I think, what happened to Quentin Price here as we were watching this whole freight train of cars back a little while ago. Dos Vase got off track there. I mean, yeah. Oh,
there's Quinton.
Oh, no, that's not good. He's going. Oh, yeah. He hit it so hard it put the bumper back on. Now that's a that's a shot when you do that.
Yeah, he clipped it back in, as you can see. It actually looks perfect and ready to go, so he should just come back into the pit lane.
Yeah, he's just got to wait for the toe to get there to get it perfect. That's all.
Exactly. So he's going to be waiting for now. There's Pernell Hanault, another camera that we've got. Looks like he's rocking some Moser gear from what I can see. KS wheel, it looks like. And out on the track, currently chasing down in the Audi of Bradley Lovings, I believe. Yes, Bradley Lovings is in the Audi, just up in front, 4/10. And man, he's also rocking that triple monitor setup. He's got it nice and close as well, so he's definitely not missing any action yet today.
Well, we had a comment in chat that said in German it's the Klein Carousel, small carousel.
In German, it is the kleine Carousel. Okay, so it is actually small carousel. Well done, Jim. There you go.
See, I could have
I wonder
named
why
that
on
myself.
this track map it doesn't point to it. It like points at the two corners, like the corner before and the corner after. So it says Stefan Beloff S. That's just before the carousel, and then Schwalbenschwanz is just after that. So I don't know why it actually doesn't point exactly at the carousel, but yeah, kleine Carousel makes sense. And the small carousel, it is a little bit smaller than the primary one. So there you go, Jim. One more point to your name.
There you go. Well, like I said, I've got a lot of laps around this place. Even though I don't know.
What does Hanault have written on his What does Hanault have written on his rear wing over here? I can't see it facing upside down. Team
Vet Boys Racing. It looks like.
Team Vet Boys Racing. Another. I'm not 100% sure what that means, but boys with a Z. I'm assuming is a little bit of a
Team Vet Boys driving the Corvettes.
I see. Very nice.
I mean, I'm sure he drives a Corvette, so I'm sure that's what it means, and that is the short version of Corvette would be Vet. So.
Yes, Team Vet Boys. Yes, indeed, that is correct. Is there any others? I don't know if Pernell Hanault's got any teammates in this, and that would be cool to see some more of the Vet Boys out on track. There's Bradley Lovings that putting pressure in his Transformer, and he's about to call out some Optimus Prime signals on the backside there of Pernell Hanault. It is practically a Transformer, and this thing is it's fully mobile. I mean, soon it's going to start walking out of his living room there. If he installs some movable modules on those legs. And I mean, the fact that he's got to have a platform with springs to prevent vibration is absolutely crazy. It just shows you the level of extremity on that rig. And power
I
that's going
can't
through
lie
it.
to you. I really, really, really want to jump in and drive that setup. VR with motion, the whole 9 yards. Can you imagine how much fun that must be?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It's but again, it could also be slightly distracting. I
Oh
don't
no,
know.
I
real life,
100% think it's distracting, but it would still be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely like do you see when he went over the track, like bumping on the left hand side, how much that entire rig shook?
Oh yeah.
That just shows you that is
see, this is
quite a wild ride there.
Prime case of the Nords right here, man. Bradley is clearly faster than Pernell at this point, but if Pernell doesn't move over and let him by, it's just so hard to pass. And this is actually one of the faster, straighter portions of the track. Pernell did move over and let him go. Now this is again coming up to this you almost got to be full wide open here. You just barely lift and breathe these GT3 cars through there. And then you're coming down through here, and you got the right-hander here before the coming up to the little straight leading into the carousel. And the entrance to the carousel is so important, man. If you miss this just slightly, it just spits you straight out. And there's two ways of running it. See, he ran it with a tire on the inside banking, which makes the car go through there a lot smoother. But the really fast way through there is to be completely on the banking, but it's so easy to get launched from there.
Yeah, if you just don't carry the speed enough, especially in the front engine cars that tend to oversteer. Fortunately for Bradley in the Audi, and I'll know this as well from driving it, it is a very oversteery car, and most of the time you're trying to correct it from putting itself in a wall, which is why we see, I mean, I don't know, Jim, if you've got an overlay possibly for throttle and brake input. But if we did have one, you would see from Bradley Loving's input that most of these sharp corners, he's pretty much able to hold it flat in the Audi just due to the fact that it can actually take these corners pretty well and does not try and understeer out of it. But the real challenge is when that car bites back and it tries to break that oversteer and flip the car around. That's where you really have to have the talent of tackling how this car handles. And I believe it's why most don't really drive the Audi anymore. It's just due to its technicality and complicated elements. As we see Brent Cook, my word, he is on the edge in terms of fuel. And
this is pit
just
lap,
about.
so
Yep, exactly.
you know, and I mean, it's like I said, it's about 4.5 laps. So if he wouldn't pit here, he definitely would not make it around all the way.
As we see Probert up in front also pitting. So Merriam running a little bit longer than most of the others
No, he
at the
pitted.
time being. He pitted already?
Yeah, him and Probert pitted
Okay,
and came out already.
I see. Okay, so a bit of a...
You got to spread
mix-up there.
that.
Apologies.
You got to take them sectors off of this one, especially. This thing's got like 13 sectors.
Well, I actually want to even see what it looks like in there. So I think I've got it turned off already. I can see the pit timer and the pit lap, but hold on, let me quickly go turn on the best sectors. I want to see what this looks like quickly.
Oh, it takes up your whole screen.
I chose best sectors, so I only see sector 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. No,
I don't think you can turn on.
Well, I'm not sure with yours. Mine will turn them all on, which is like 13. Oh, Purnell.
Oh, Purnell's at a massive moment.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. I just see what happened there. I was looking away when it actually happened. Let's see. Oh,
this is through that. There we go. On the backside and front end of the. He saved it though. It was a good
save it. No, that's what I did right there. You see how he backed up over the curb like that? That's how I beached myself. Just like that.
You beached it. Nice.
Yep.
And that was just before Carousel as well. So a bit of an odd place to lose it. I won't lie. I haven't seen many lose it there just before Carousel. And he just touched the grass and just enough to over-rotate that Ferrari on the back end and see himself spinning, facing the incorrect direction. Now, Yellowsuns is on the backside of Bradley Lovings and hopefully going to put up a bit of a fight here in the Porsche 992. Tidwell gets himself a bit of a slowdown. There's our Transformer up in front again. Yellowsuns busy chasing down. And we'll have to see if he can make up a little bit of time. Yeah, he is starting to lose the chase currently between himself and Bradley Lovings. It's down to 1.5 now. Back up to the top, though, we see Bradley Tidwell currently on the backside of another Porsche. So 2/10 behind Sebastian Fack. And this is to break into the top 6. So that could be a good overtake here for Bradley Tidwell. And hoping that he can get through. Again, he's somewhat still joyful at the bottom, but... yeah, he's looking for it, and he's gonna claim the inside line here, but hopefully he's got the space on the outside. I can see a bit of a smile starting to show, and I think he's happy about that one. Indeed, he is, and he can fall back into his chair and relax a bit. I saw he started leaning forwards there and making sure he was going to get past that Porsche without making any contact, and past the Lamborghini goes and up into 6. So great moves there from Tidwell.
Yeah, now he's got a little bit of a row to hoe in front of him now. He's got 12 and a half seconds to get up to Horvat in front of him. Ooh, got a little off track there. Man, I tell you what, just dipping a tire around this place can bite you. You know, it's so sensitive. And then up in front of them, look at this battle here with Damian and Vlad. That's good battle here. Oh, Damian's flying right there.
Yeah, he really is. He's gotten a much better exit onto this small sector. But now going side by side.
Oh
no, this could get a little bit dangerous. He's getting pushed up off of the left-hand side, and that definitely.
This is a super fast downhill section right here. This is one.
And
of the
they're still side by side.
This is crazy.
That's the crazy part.
This is one of the fastest parts on the track right here, and then you come uphill into a hard braking zone here, where you come down from top gear down to about. He got him though. You come down to about from top gear down to about second before you make that little roundabout there.
Yeah, that's a fast downshift as well, because you try and overslow the car and get it slowed down enough for that left-hand kink, because the left-hand kink then turns into an even harder right-hand kink. So yeah, you really do have to get that car slowed down, and it's all downhill, and then it all of a sudden just becomes uphill. So the downhill really does aid that car in gaining a bunch of speed around the tracks, and the uphill
and the uphill helps you slow it down too. Otherwise,
exactly,
it would be brutal, because as soon as you crest that hill, you've got to make that left-hander there, or you're right into the guardrail. And of course, it's blind because it's uphill; you can't see it coming.
Still chasing around here. It looks like Vlad is not letting go of Damian here. And these two will probably be fighting a little bit towards the end. I mean, I do see Damian is starting to pull away here. But again, one incident or one small slip up, and that's enough for Vlad to gain up on the back end.
You can't lose sight of the fact that he is up 24 spots today.
From 28 all the way up until 4th. That is an
phenomenal run.
Yeah, he's really studied the incidents well this race, completely avoided basically everything as he touches the curb on the right-hand side.
Say, don't jinx him into that.
Yeah, I was getting a little bit worried there for our virtual drinking friend over there, but looks like he's managed to not spill the drinks, and he's up in front.
I love the guy, man. Last week we pulled him in for that interview, and what was his response? He's like, yeah, I just got in from drinking last night.
At 7 a.m., literally.
He done pulled an all-nighter.
Absolutely. Well, I actually just realized that now that but he's in Croatia, so
yeah, so no,
time's a lot closer to me.
Yes, which means that. Well, I think what he was telling us was he pulled an all-nighter. He may have napped in between then and the race, but he had pulled an all-nighter. I remember those days when I could pull an all-nighter and then still keep going the next day. Now, if I pull an all-nighter, I have to recover for 2 days. I hate to admit it, but it's true.
But I mean, at least you had the good times then in the past, that
you don't even know
it took all the experiences
how good times I had.
Yeah, I think most you can't probably say on a virtual broadcast over here. And,
well, I can. The statute of limitations is run out on most of that stuff by now, so I'm okay.
Lucky for you, at least. But 15 minutes left, Jim. Can you believe that? About 15 minutes. That's how fast this hour and a half has gone. And like we say, the coverage does slightly get underwhelming in terms of entertainment at the Nordschleife as the cars begin to break away from each other. As you can see on the track map, it's pretty much equal split across the entire circuit right now. Yeah. And that does tend to happen at the Nordschleife. And even with more cars, it's kind of the same effect. So it's been good to kind of document what's happened. Yeah, adding a couple of personal experiences in here and there to break through this past 1 hour. But into this final 15 minutes left to go now, this is where the drivers really need to keep that confidence and that focus, because what on earth would the point be of running for 1 hour and then losing it all in the final 15 minutes?
In endurance racing, how easy that focus can fade as you get into it. Because, I mean, the reality is in most endurance racing, this is about as long a stint as you're going to run. An hour and a half, maybe you do 2 hours depending on the car track combo or something, but hour and a half to 2 hours. Well, man, at the end of that, that in this place, there's no room for any kind of braking concentration. Other places you can get away with it. Here, it's deadly if you have a little lapse in concentration. It really is.
Yeah, definitely. So, it's that sigh of relief. Oh, okay, 15 minutes left, and that's the worst. Is what releases all. Yeah, it's what releases all the focus, because you head into that final 15 minutes knowing that it's about to be over. That last 15 minutes is the slowest 15 minutes of your life, and the riskiest as well. It is the riskiest as well, because you lose all the confidence and focus. You slip up slightly with the car, and then you immediately realize, oh my goodness, I've got 15 minutes left, and I'm starting to struggle and lose confidence here. And that's when you really have to lock in for those final 15 minutes. You can breathe that sigh of relief once you pass the checkered flag line, not 15 minutes before. And it's terribly difficult in longer endurance racing, because especially in like 12 and 24-hour races, when you get to that final hour, that sigh of relief is so easy to release, because you just want to be done with it. And especially if you're running, for example, a 24-hour with like 2 or 3 people, I mean, collectively, you've each run about 8 hours of racing, so you are trying to get it done with as soon as possible, and it's very easy to lose focus on that final stint.
Yeah, and I'm not one who can sleep in between stints too much. Like some guys can do that.
Neither me. 100% I cannot.
No. I mean, I'm too jacked up and thinking about it, and so there's no chance for me to rest. Some of those guys can do that.
I've always got that FOMO of like, what happens if the current team member in the car has like an incident or something, and then someone needs to jump in, and you're fast asleep and no one can get a hold of you. Like, I feel like that would be the worst way to end your race. But I think for the real life drivers, they really have to train themselves. And Vlad did get back.
Actually,
no, he didn't.
Damien.
He didn't know that.
Tidwell has caught them, and so has Sebastian.
Tidwell and Pack. Yeah. So it looks like Vlad's struggling a bit, but like I was just.
Vlad obviously had a problem because now Horvath
he definitely
is 11 seconds ahead. What just happened to?
I think he had a bit of a struggle, but earlier on while we were talking, I'm not too sure. As he's got a lot of pressure now, though, from behind of Brad and just a bit further, as well as Sebastian Fack. So we'll have to wait and see what these two do. But I think if you're a real-life endurance racer, I think sleep is like military level, force level. If you're out that car and you've got 4 hours before your next stint, I'm pretty sure your team manager forces you to go and take a nap. Like for the sake of the team win, you have to go and take a nap for your body's energy recovery. I mean, obviously in sim racing it can be a bit different,
it would be hard to speak of that, obviously, since we haven't done it. But
absolutely.
I still think that I would struggle greatly just knowing who I am as a person. I'm going to go back and take a look at what happened.
Meatball for Curtis.
Oh yeah, well,
he's at another.
This is what happened to Vlad here on that last lap. I think he had a couple little tiny off-track moments, maybe.
I can see.
Oh no, that's not tiny.
Oh, that's not tiny at all. That's massive.
That is.
And he can't collect it as well on the reverse. That's back tap as well. So that's front and rear damage on that Aston Martin. I don't know if the suspension's damaged. Maybe we can go on board quickly. Just to have a look to see if that wheel is facing straight or not. Perfect opportunity now as he heads onto the back straight in his replay. Wow, somehow that wheel is straight. I have no idea how. After hitting the front and back side of the car, maybe he broke it on both sides equally enough that it's basically cancelled out. But no, that wheel is straight. That wheel is pretty much good to go.
That's surprising, if I'm being honest. That is very surprising.
100%. Yeah, I'm also pretty surprised. That Curtis Matthews also just had a meatball. We'll go back and find the replay of that one. Obviously, I don't think it matters too much because of his championship position, but still would be good to see. He was sitting in the pit lane for a while. The fact that he could come join us, and now he's got another meatball. So let's see if we can find what happened to Curtis.
This is not uncommon to happen at places. Oh, there he goes.
Oh,
big shot too.
That is massive.
Oh no, yeah,
that is massive.
Yeah,
absolutely
I think
huge.
He's done there. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the end of the day there for Curtis with. Heck, the tow will probably take this long to get back, just as he's waiting to get pulled back to pits.
With 10 minutes left to go, that the tow back is basically going to take up the rest of the race. And still the repairs on the car. He's got no fast repairs left, so the repairs are probably going to be a good 20 to 25 minutes or possibly longer. So it's basically a DNF there for Curtis Matthews, unfortunately. So let's hope his calculations have been correct, Jim. That would be terrible if the league admins go and do point scoring and he loses out.
Who is the second in points? Let me see.
Let me have. I can pull that up.
I got it right here as well. Oh, Sawyer, JT Sawyer. So where's JT at?
He's not here tonight. I haven't seen
his
name.
No, he is. He's in 26th place.
He is. Oh, there we go.
My understanding was JT would have had to win the race.
I see. Okay.
If Curtis
in
finished
class
last,
or in actual race,
I believe the whole overall race.
Okay, so you should be good then because obviously JT's 26th overall.
Yeah. I mean, at this point,
but fourth in class.
Yeah, at this point, well, he's ahead of Curtis, but not by much. Really, only 5 or 6, maybe 7 spots, something like that.
Yeah. Mitchell also gets himself a slowdown. With 10 minutes left to go.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised that Tidwell is not able to get by Vlad as hard a shot as Vlad took into the wall there, because that was 2 pretty nasty shots, one on the front and one on the back.
Yeah, absolutely. Bit of a blow there from Vlad, and I really don't know how he's running still. Like you say, it's a bit of a surprise to see him still out there, and he doesn't look like he's decreasing in pace whatsoever. So you know, he's still fine up there. Obviously, the likes of Tidwell and Fack will be catching up ever so slightly with the damage, but it's not enough to the point where it's a free pass for Tidwell and Fack. You can see that Tidwell just a bit further behind, still has to try and catch up, and then he still has to pass under normal standard passing regulations. It's not going to just be a let by from a slower car in front. It's and he also didn't get a meatball flag from it either. So that car somehow still in good condition. My word, Tidwell is getting on the backside of that machine.
Tidwell got into that carousel. That was the move right there. Look at that, man.
That was a great dive on carousel. Just way more entry speed, and look at what that's done for him. Even on the grass on the outside line, Tidwell is taking the risk here today.
That was a fantastic move right there, man. He launched it into the carousel, closed that gap up, and then got that pass done. That was fantastic. That's how you do it right there.
Work. Yeah, great stuff there from Bradley Tidwell. He really did a good job there. I cannot lie to you. That's a very risky overtake, but he had so much confidence, and you could see it in his camera as well. You know, there was no jitter, there was nothing. He straight up went on the outside line and made it work. One foul swoop on the outside, and unfortunately Vlad had to accept it. So another question is Fack going to get past as well and get into the top 6 in the next 8 minutes?
It doesn't look like it. He's losing ground to him.
He's a bit slow.
Oh, that's Micah Dickinson there.
Yeah, Micah Dickinson on the left-hand side, right-hand side, sorry. Probably get a replay to see what happened. The front side is damaged. Hey, another camera. There we go.
For us this week. Look at there.
Yeah, there we go. And the next level FGT light. Sitting in his little mobile rig, one that can fold up and go in a cupboard. Always found those nice and convenient.
Yeah, that's originally what I bought my son to go to college with, and it didn't really fit him as good as we had hoped. So we got a different one that you could fold the seat down and that could.
Jim, if your child is anything like you, I'd assume he struggles to fit in most things, being as tall as you.
He's a stepson, so he's only 6 foot, but
that's still tall.
He doesn't have he doesn't have my height for sure. I can't fit in anything. I had to go searching for a rig that would accommodate me.
Dickinson again off on the right-hand side. Did we get a replay there of what happened to him, or did nothing come up on the system?
No, I can. I didn't really want to torture him there. That was the one that we peeked in on him afterwards.
Just a bit of rear end loss and then, backwards, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then after that, this happened. You can see the front end is jacked up on that thing already. I think he just. Oh, he stopped to let somebody go by. Yeah, he's just limping that one back around, I think, at this point.
Yeah, just trying to get it back home now. And we are going to be entering the final lap, basically, now. We see Tidwell going across the checkered flag line. So there's Ryan. So he's
we might get another lap.
We've got 7 minutes left to go. No, we've got 6 minutes left to go. Definitely not. This is going to be final lap. I'm pretty sure it's what's his current delta? His current delta is about 20% through the lap right now.
It's going to be close.
20% of 8 minutes. I mean, his last was an 8:04. So what the heck is 20% of 8 minutes? I'm trying to calculate that quickly, just to see what that would be.
I think Vlad just ran into some more trouble there. Oh, he hit Tidwell.
Hit Tidwell on the backside. And that's unfortunate to see.
Luckily, it didn't seem to hurt either car too bad, hopefully, but certainly.
Well, there we now see Vlad's bumper is officially disconnected a bit. It's bouncing around, and I think it might have ripped off as soon as that ended. If we go back to Vlad, I think the front has officially decided to disembark.
Oh yeah,
you can see it already from this angle. Yeah,
well,
it just flew off. I literally watched it flew off as soon as the replay ended.
To be fair, I would have thought it would have been gone from that other incident alone, But even that, and even with hitting Tidwell in the back and having to come to a stop and all, Sebastian Fack is still a second and a half back. He's really not closing at all. Now that the bumper's gone, maybe he will. What'd you figure out on Merriam? What was your?
I'm trying to calculate it. So he's about 40% through the lap now, and we've got about just about a break into 4 minutes left of racing. And yeah, my math is
really
not going to be here at black flag penalty there for Micah Dickinson. That's the first one we've seen here so far at Nordschleife, funny enough.
So
he's going to have to serve a drive
through.
Sure. Yeah, incident limit most probably. I don't think there's going to be much conflict with other cars at a track like this for the time being. But so yeah, my brain's not going to work at 5 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, unfortunately. You know, that's race.
Well, let me
period,
know when
so
he gets to the 50% mark in the lap.
It is, yeah, okay, 50% we can easily calculate at 4 minutes.
That's why I don't have to take my shoes off to count that, so I'm okay.
Exactly. So he is about to, I'll let you know, he's at 48 now. Just about to hit the 50% mark of this lap, 49% now.
Then based on that, then we should not get another
50%
lap.
right now. Yeah, so 50% right now, and we've got about 3 minutes and 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go.
Yeah.
So that equals 7 minutes, about 7.5 minutes. So it's just, especially in an 8-minute long lap, it is basically just up towards the checkered flag line, probably exiting the Nordschleife when it's going to hit 30 minutes. So very close, as we now see Yellowsuns and Bradley Lovings giving each other a run for their money, and Bradley Lovings has lost it on the outside line. He ran wide and he hit into the wall, and he's gotten himself a black flag penalty from that one, going exceeding track limits. My goodness, what a scale of events there for Lovings. Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there. He looked like he just tried to take the outside line alongside Yellowsuns and carry too much speed into the left-hander, and onto the grass he went. So you can see it side by side between the two of them. He tries to keep side by side into this left-hander, which I don't think is possible. And he's just proved it that it's not possible. Yeah. And there he goes into the wall. I think he just managed to avoid the wall. But
well, that's the place we talked about earlier, man. You crest that hill right there, and the track naturally wants to throw you in that guardrail. And the fact that he had actually tried to get out of the side-by-side thing because he knew that was not going to be good, right? And but it didn't hurt him too bad. He's back all over the back of Sones again, so we'll see how that shakes out. But let's take a look at our points right now. So Cody Bont is, where is Cody running right now? Cody Bont is in 21st place.
Yeah.
Second place in points is Raul Pasta, who is in 13th.
He's up in 13th. Yeah, that's going to be a close one because I know that
Heath Ollinger. Where's Ollinger at? Ollinger's back down there.
Quite far off, yeah.
So at this point, it looks like that Pasta is going to win this championship.
Yeah, because I think it was 4 points of a difference.
Yeah,
between,
4 points, yes.
Pasta and Bont. So,
yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, that distance on track, 13th to 21st, is definitely going to be more than 4 points difference.
Right.
And I don't know if Bont has known this, but that's unfortunately going to be the championship over. Obviously, I don't know how the drop round is going to work.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so, and I am horrible at this kind of crap. Where is Miriam at? Let's just see where he's at. We're going to do the second
he's coming
carousel.
Through second carousel.
Okay,
yeah,
so
30 seconds left.
Bont has a 0 already that he's dropped. Raul does not have any zeros. So with both drops already calculated, I think this is a done deal. I think this is
like
a done deal for Raul Pasta, yeah. So
yeah, and there we officially see the session clock. It's a hit the border, 1 minute and 30, not 1 minute, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, 1 hour and 30 minutes done and dusted, and there we see Merriam on the back straight heading towards the Bilstein Bridge.
So in the pro category now, we obviously, Ryan Merriam has got this sewed up. Gearing, Cook, and Cheney are all 10 points apart for second place, roughly.
Cheney's currently up in third.
Cheney is in
there's the
third.
flag.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
great.
there's the checkered flag. Miriam comes across and takes the win of tonight's race, the final one of Old Guy Racing League, season number 12, I believe. No, round number 12, season number 5. And 41 seconds of a gap. Yeah, like you just said.
where
Down
is
the back straight
Gearing?
only now.
Gearing's way down. He had damage. He's out.
No, Gearing DNF. Yeah, so Gearing took a DNF on the final round here,
And Cook.
which means Cheney is going to do well in this race. Cook is down in 10th position right now. Brent Cook, as he holds down 12th position overall. Apologies, 10th position in class. So he's down 12th position overall. He's going to get a point, I believe
that Cheney is going to finish second as Probert comes across the line here. So I believe that when this is all said and done, Cheney is going to end up second place in the pro category. Where is Cheney now? He's right here. Let's see where our class leaders are. Where is Williams? Here.
Well, there's a fight. There's going to be a fight down to the line here for 6th position. Sebastian Fack has literally got Vlad alongside him on the back straight here. This is going to be a close one as we head down. It is the slight aerodynamic advantage to Sebastian Fack, but that Aston Martin is technically faster.
It's really going to come down to braking, though, right here. This is...
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Okay, Sebastian Fack looks a bit annoyed about that.
Yeah, he does. He's flashing
a bit of a
out of his lights, and Vlad is not giving that up either. Okay.
No, definitely not. No, Vlad is going to take 6th position. 7th for Sebastian Fack.
We got to go back and watch that again just to see.
I think this was a netcode bump because watch Sebastian Fack. I think they bumped each other, and obviously it was a bit of a netcode bump because there they go. There, do you see that?
He definitely did hit.
Very odd though, because it looked like they did make contact, but like a netcode contact.
Yeah, netcode for sure. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, 100%.
It definitely does not look like there was full contact, or real contact there. All right, where is Williams at for the pro?
That's the lead of the pros. Yeah, Jonathan Williams.
Pro-Am here. Jonathan Williams, where is he at now?
8th position, just came across the checkered
flag. Just finished. Okay, missed him. Sorry about that.
Class, yeah.
And where's our AM leader? Is Soames. He should be across as well.
Finished, yeah.
All
right. Here we see all of our drivers, celebratory donuts as it comes to the season end. And what a season it's been, though, Jim. These guys have really shown their skills and talents. And I'm sure it's only going to boost them going into the next season number 6 of the Old Guy Racing League Sunday Coffee Cup. And what a way to finish it off as well. 90 minutes here at the Nürburgring Combined. And man, the green hull really did show its flames yet.
It did for sure. It's been great. All right, let's see. Let's get this off the screen here. Clear all this off, and we'll pull up our results. We're not finished yet. We're not finalized.
Yeah, no, we still got quite a couple of cars that still need to come across the checkered flag line that are still somewhere out in the forest section. There we have Dukowski as he goes around the track currently through.
There's a couple of decent battles still out there. That was one that was pretty close right there.
Chris Slane, yeah. Chris Slane just coming across there with our vet boys. Of Pernell Hanault.
Yep.
Great little battle that they just got to have over the line. And there we have Alexander Cordia. He's just up ahead. Driver behind isn't in class or position, it doesn't look like. And Will Bailey over there just a bit further behind, coming down towards the checkered flag line. We can probably pull up our live timing still just to see where our final drivers are coming through, as I think we still have quite a few out on track from what it looked like. Yeah, we still got Bailey, Bond, O'Brien, Olinger, Smith, Dukowski is still out there, Gardner, Vase, Claudio, they're all still out there right now. Still coming out. JT Sawyer down
for Cody Bont. What a great season, but unfortunately, in the end, Raul Pasta's consistency, it looks like, is going to pay off for him.
Yeah, this is why we always say consistency is key. You can be fast at one track, but if you DNF at the next, it's never going to equate properly in the championship points. And unfortunately for Cody Bont, from calculations made here, obviously everything will be finalized with the stewards, but it does look like provisionally he is going to lose the championship here for the Pro-Ams, and Raul Pasta is going to take it up in 13th position. So he comes across the checkered flag. O'Brien, Olinger, Smith, and Dukowski all still need to come across the line. As you can see, quite a few cars still in that section. The number 22 car of O'Brien, he's coming through the small carousel, and currently on board with the 25th position of Dukowski. He's still heading through the top right-hand side mountain section now. So he's still got to go through a couple more corners here before he can head into the final. And still some time to play with, but it's so weird seeing only 12 laps done here, but obviously an hour and a half of racing done.
Right.
It's always a weird one, especially when we come from shorter based tracks that we've had this season. I think like Red Bull Ring on the first on the 1st of March. I mean, that was like what average 1 minute and 10, 115 lap times, and compared to 8-minute lap times that we get to see here at Nordschleife. Very, very different indeed. And Brian Dukowski still trying to come across. Smith gets himself a black flag penalty as well on the final few corners here. And O'Brien is only just now coming onto the main straight of the GP circuit. So he's going to come across the checkered flag now, but still on board with, there we see Danny O'Brien. Just exiting the Nordschleife onto the GP circuit he goes. And going to come across the line in 22nd overall, but unfortunately not around about 5th or 6th position in terms of his class. And a great ride there from Danny O'Brien. And Heath Olinger still out on track right now with Smith just behind him. Dukowski and Sawyer also still coming out. Looks like Dickerson has called an out and Williams has also come across. So this is our final patch of drivers to come through. Most of them are on the back straight. And we'll have to wait and see when they all come through. Just at the back there's still JT Sawyer as he tries to make his way in 26th position. Here, though, comes Heath Olinger to finish off at the Green Hell. Exits Nordschleife back onto the GP circuit and across the checkered flag line he will go. Great work from our drivers here in the Pro-Am to get past 24th and 25th. Now currently on the back straight, just about past the Bilstein Bridge. And then they'll be joining onto the GP circuit. To round it off here for this 12-lap race. 1 hour and 37 minutes gone past. Dukowski now exiting up the uphill. He goes of Nordschleife and towards the GP circuit again in his beautiful blue, green, and white Corvette. The last time we'll get to see this livery for the time being, but it'll probably be back in the future if he decides to join in on the Corvette army again. And Brian Dukowski across the checkered flag. He goes. One driver left to go. And that is going to be Mr. JT Sawyer. A little bit further behind, only on the back straight now in his McLaren for the Darkwing Racing team. And it is the final home pursuit for the driver, the last driver who has to conquer the back straight here at the Nordschleife and Nürburgring Combined circuits. And just about heading on to, what a cool camera angle we've got here. This is a nice flyby drone. If a drone could go 280 kilometers for more than 3 minutes.
Did you see the one that they did last season that followed the Formula One cars?
I did, yes. That's why I made the reference of more than 280 kilometers for longer than 3 minutes, because it can follow at about 350 Ks, but only for 3 minutes, and then the battery's dead. So it's got its downside, but it's still so cool seeing a drone able to match with an F1 car. And there we see it. JT Sawyer.
You got to give the pilot credit just to be able to control that thing at that speed, you know?
That is crazy. Yeah, absolutely. It's
all
nuts.
Right, let's get a look at these results now, and let's do it. We'll do them by class. So we'll start down with the AMs. We'll pull up those results.
Yeah, so up and coming on your screen, Yellowsoons takes the win here tonight with Chris Lane in second. John Gardner will take third position. Curtis Matthews takes fourth position, apparently with Robert Sackett, JT Sawyer, and Scott Carlson in seventh. John Schneebel down in eighth with Mitchell Williams and Charles O'Brien, your final driver for your GT3 AM finishing order here for tonight. Moving over to your Pro-Ams, and that's going to be Raul Pastor, who takes the win here tonight and also possibly takes the win for the championship in first position. Jonathan Williams will take second, with Will Bailey taking third position. Heath Olinger takes fourth, with Pernell Hanault taking fifth. Danny O'Brien in sixth position.
Wait a minute. Why is that showing Pasta as the winner?
I'm also noticing that now, even though Jonathan Williams came across the line first. That's a bit of an odd one. But Dukowski, Wesley in seventh and eighth.
Let's take a look at the overall and see if it's showing.
doesn't look like it.
Hold
Maybe
on.
try and go through it overall. But overall, up in front, Ryan Merriam with Vladislav
It does
Poklonsky
show
in
him
second
there ahead of
position.
him as well.
It does, yes. So
I
that's a
wonder
bit
if
of
there
a
was a
confusing one. I won't
penalty.
lie. Yeah, it could possibly be a bit of a penalty being
okay.
handed out last minute. That would be a bit of an odd
Yeah,
one. So we
all
can
right.
probably go back to the pro-ams.
Yeah, back to the pro-ams.
And there we go. So I think we got Danny O'Brien in 6th with Brian Dukowski taking 7th, Wesley Smith and Paul Corrali 8th and 9th. Cody Bont down in 10th position, unfortunately, 23 incident points to his name. And Quinton Price in 11th with Micah Dixon down in 12th position currently for today's racing. Then moving over, and I think that's incorrect again because Quinton Price DNF'd and Micah Dickinson didn't. So a little bit of confusion one there. GT3 Pros onto it. It is going to be Ryan Meering up in front. That we know is a fact with Vlad definitely not in second position. He did not finish off in second. Tim Probert in third.
Oh,
yeah, a bit of a mix up.
Hold on. You know
we'll be
what?
Looking at qualifying.
I'm gonna close out the season with the Dumbass of the Year award. Let's do this one more time. I apologize. Here's your correct finishing order for each category. Let's just run through the top 3 in each one. I screwed that up.
Top 3. That's all good. There you go. So top 3, I think, for this one was correct. It is Yella Soons, Chris Lane, and John Gardner up in the top 3. And then moving over to a GT3 Prams, it is indeed Jonathan Williams who finishes up in front. Roll Pasta takes 2nd, and Pernal Hanout takes 3rd position. And then moving over to your GT3 Pros, it is indeed Ryan Merriam who takes 1st. It is Tom Probert who takes 2nd, and it is Jeremy Cheney who takes 3rd, who will now convert over to taking 2nd in the championship. From this, Damian Hoverton takes 4th with Bradley Tidwell. In 5th, there we see Vladislav Poklonsky down in 6th, which is correct, and Sebastian Fack down 7th. Alan Purser, Brent Cook, and Bradley Lovings with Dustin Dos Vase, Alexander Claudio down in 12th with Aaron Gearing and Hayden Young in 14th with Stephen Smalley down in 15th position. That is officially your running order here for today's racing.
I apologize for that. That was, if I'm being honest, I never moved it down from qualifying to race. I was showing you qualifying results is what was happening there. I apologize for that.
I thought that was the
that could have been that's happened before. It sometimes it automatically moves down and then sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, we've got that out of the way now. So I'm actually going to try something here. I don't know if this has been changed yet. Let me just see something.
We are getting the final results being published in the admin chat.
There we go. Yep,
it is indeed Curtis Matthews who takes the win for the AM class, and looks like his calculation worked out well.
All right, so let's start off with. Do we have our race winner in the AM class? Sones in there.
Do I believe? Yeah, Yella Soons coming to you live now in the virtual commentary box.
Yella,
you are live. Yella, hello.
Hello.
There he is.
Yep. So,
alrighty, Yella.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, sweet. Well done, first of all, on taking the win at the Green Hull and taking the win for the AM Championship. How did tonight's racing feel at the Nürburgring Combined?
It felt really good. I have a lot of trust in the Green Hull. If I look on my Greg 61, right now I have 45 hours driven on the VLN track, 7 hours on the 24 hours, and another 17 hours on the industry farten.
Wow, you're like me. You got a lot of hours in there.
Yeah,
I love this place.
A lot of practice put into this race, and well, as you can see, it definitely paid off for you, finishing off up in front in the AM class. And will you be joining us here again for season number 6 whenever it launches here for Old Guy Racing League Coffee Cup?
Yes, I will definitely be joining next season.
Incredible stuff
to hear.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff. Jim, do you have any questions for Yella Soons?
No, not really. Just congratulations, man. You had a good season, and you definitely started showing your speed late in the season. And with Curtis, I'm sure moving up to pro-ams, if you stay in the amateur ranks, I would say that you're going to be a definite contender for the championship next season. And I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I think so. It will be. It was a good season.
Yes.
Just unlucky from the disconnect issues that I had.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
I hate that too. Disconnects are the worst.
Yeah.
But before you head out the commentary box, is anybody you'd like to thank or mention for the final time this season?
The same as always, my full team, including Sebastian Fack. He really helped me a lot.
All right.
Incredible stuff. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the box, and we'll see you next season.
No problem. See you next season.
Mr. Yellow Suits, a man of few words, but a talented man out on track indeed, and always great to see. I'll do the two winners of the next.
Well, no, I
divisions,
said
and then,
let's pull
Jimmy,
Curtis in if he's in there, and let's wrap
You wanna
up
pull-
AMs,
okay,
and
cool.
then we'll just move. Yeah, we'll move forward from there.
All right, sweet. So let's bring in our champion in your AM class. It is indeed going to be the man we had a bit of a chat to earlier on. Curtis, the Corgi Master Matthews, joins us here in the commentary box. And
Hey, guys.
obviously, not your race today, but regardless, it did not matter. And you come across the checkered flag line, regardless of the finish position, as the champion of the AM class. How are you feeling after that insane victory?
I mean, I wish I was feeling better today. Obviously, I've been sick, but it was a fun season. I really put a lot of time in to get better and better my racecraft. The guys on my team, BWE, they really helped me out with that and give me a lot of time, give me a lot of practice, and a lot of good coaching. Ryan Marion, I definitely want to give a shout out to him. He definitely gave me a lot of support, helped me up a lot this season. So I really couldn't have done without all those guys, and it was a fun time, man. It's nice being able to run with everybody.
Well, Curtis, you know how I feel about you in this season. So I've said it all year. So congratulations, man. Nobody knows more than me the amount of hard work that you put in to improve like you have. Because, like I said, when you and I were in this league back a while ago, you and I were pretty equal, and you have practiced your butt off and far left me in the dust. So I can appreciate how hard you worked, and nobody deserves it any more than you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you jump up to Pro-Ams next year. To be honest with you, I think based on what I've seen this season, I think you're going to be a contender in Pro-Ams as well, as long as you keep the incidents down and don't run into too much bad luck along the way,
Yeah, that's the one thing I've been really trying to work on is just not getting into incidents. I think today I was just having fun and I really didn't care. Last week in the rain was definitely interesting to know. I definitely take those lessons for improvement for next time. Just because, if you have less incidents, you're going to finish higher up. So I definitely took that to heart this season and really try to keep my incidents down. And it's definitely worked out for me. So, learning and always learning. So I tell my kids, you should be learning something new every day.
That's right. No, I mean, and that's 100% correct. And you definitely have reduced your number of incidents this season over the past couple of seasons, So, you're 100% correct. That is where the difference came in. You've picked up speed too, but the reduction in incidents is what has improved your finishing and the ability to win this championship. You've definitely gotten faster, but yeah, the way you're taking care of your car now compared to a couple of seasons ago is quite a bit different.
Yeah, today, unfortunately, though,
Well,
it wasn't that. I beat the crap out of her today.
Look, the
I had
reality
3
is,
meatballs.
man, some of the best drivers in the world get destroyed by this track to start with, and you were not feeling well, and you really had no pressure on you because it was kind of already decided. I think if it wasn't decided, I think that you would have approached today completely different, and I think your result today would have been different. But again, this is not reflective of the rest of your season. So, it's just this is a one-off that didn't really matter. I see your team managers coming over there. They're coming over to congratulate you.
You guys really didn't get a chance to see the dogs.
There they are. Look, giving Dad kisses for winning a championship. Look at that.
Yeah, these
That's
are all.
awesome. All right, buddy. Hey, look.
These are my big supporters.
Congratulations again. Nobody deserves it any more than you do, and I love you, and I can't wait to see what you do next season. And so, do you have anybody you want to shout out to for the last time here, just before we let you out of here?
Well, just real quick, man. I just want to shout out to you guys. The broadcasts are always awesome. I definitely say that they have improved. Not that we're not bad, but a lot of the features you guys put on definitely makes it a lot more informative and really like realistic. So definitely the broadcast has been awesome. Thank you to you guys for that. OGRL, Tiddy and Bradley Tidwell and Lovings. They put on this every season, and they've done a great job. It's always improved every year. With the just like incident reporting and everything like that. Just the whole structure has gotten better, and it's been awesome. So thanks to those guys. Obviously, my team, BWE, all those guys have been helping me out. And, it's fun racing with them this season. But most importantly, definitely my wife for letting me do this. Yeah, she's the most important one. So her support with this, and she watches when she can. And my kids enjoy, hearing about the race and watching the broadcast with me after I get done racing. And obviously my puppies. My puppies always here. They're my loyal fans.
So the last thing and it's just popped into my head. The last thing I want to say is, if you question this man's dedication, just know that about a year or so ago, he literally bought a portable sim rig to take with him to Florida while he was working on the road down in Key West, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
100%.
And, I think you were going to be down there for like 3 weeks or a month or something, and you literally bought one of those collapsible sim rigs just so that you could bring it to Florida to race. So if you question the man's dedication, that tells you all you need to know about him right there.
Yeah, I still have it. It's upstairs. I have it set up for my daughter to use. She's never even used it, so it's just sitting upstairs. But yep, I still have it.
Yeah, that was that just right there just tells the level of dedication that you've had for a while. So I love that. That just popped into my head. But congratulations again, buddy, and I look forward to next season, seeing you move up and where it goes from here.
I'll give you a little bit of surprise. So I talked with Bradley Tidwell a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And I asked if the winners can pick a track.
Yep.
So I'm torn. It's either going to be 1 and 2 tracks for my choice. It's either going to be Willow Springs. That's one of my favorites. Or it's going to be VIR Grand, the big track with the big infield.
Really?
Be one of those two. Those are my 2 favorite tracks.
Interesting. I have to say, Willow Springs, definitely different. Probably not a track that everybody knows, especially more of our international people. But even American racers, a lot of them don't know Willow Springs and, of course, the history of Willow Springs and all of that. That would be a really cool one. If I'm being honest, of the two, I hope you pick Willow Springs. I'm not trying to influence your decision, but I just think that would be a cool one, and it's not one that we see on any. Not that we see the Grand, but we see VIR a lot, and the idea of going to a track like Willow Springs, something completely different. I think that's super cool, and that's 2 unique choices. When I was asked, my choice wasn't near as unique as that. So when they
got to change it up a little bit.
I love that. I love that though. So that's really cool. In fact, my choice was Interlagos or St. Petersburg. And just because St. Pete is new and, it's a really cool street circuit, and I love tough street circuits, So,
yeah.
But anyway,
you got a lot of people to talk to, man. So thanks for taking up your time with me.
Well, this is season finale.
See you next season.
This is the good one. So everybody gets their time today. So congratulations again, buddy. See you next season.
All right. See you, brother.
All right. Let's bring in our Pro-Am winner now for the week. Did I lose you, Tristan? I might have lost him. Oh, he did. I did lose him. Okay. So, all right, let's see. Who am I bringing up next? So, I am completely lost. I don't even know who won without going and looking at the results. I was counting on him for that. Here we go. All right, let's see where we're at here. All right, let's pull Jonathan Williams in. Is he in here? There he is. All right. Hey, Jonathan, Jim Cunningham. Sorry to make you wait, buddy.
Right.
Congratulations, man. Good run today. Great track. Obviously, you must like this place. You got around here really well.
Yeah, it's a fun track. I hate the Porsche, but fun track.
The Porsche around here is not my favorite car. I said that during the broadcast. That light front end on the Porsche just doesn't agree with me on this track. But it is nimble for a lot of the turns here. But I'm definitely not a Porsche fan at this track. But you managed to get it done. Did a good job today. You had a pretty solid finish. In the race, top 10.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Congratulations. So what's your plans for next season? I'm guessing obviously you're coming back, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'm hoping by that point my son's travel soccer's over. Unfortunately, I love my kids to death, but it cost me any chance to win this championship. But
yeah,
and
that's not all travel soccer costs.
That's for sure. Lots of money.
Oh, believe me, I know, man. I feel for you.
Yes, for sure. And it's been a lot of fun. Looking forward to the next season, and I want to give a big quick congrats to Pasta and even Bonte. They all showed up. They had a solid season.
Yeah, that's good season for both those guys for sure. All right, buddy. Congratulations again today. You got anybody you want to shout out to though besides those two guys?
Yeah, I want to shout out as always to Alan for practicing with me. The gentleman that's on the hood of my car today, Antonio Diaz, he said he'd give me $50 if I put his face on my hood, so I did.
No, that's a sponsorship. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so $50 or not, I'll do it all over again. I appreciate it, and I want to thank you and everything that y'all have done this season. It was great, and hopefully see you next season.
All right, buddy. Congratulations again, and yeah, we'll definitely see you next season.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, let's see here. So now let's pull up. We'll bring in Raul and talk to him about his championship there. Raul, Jim Cunningham, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Jim.
What a fantastic finish for you, huh?
Yes, as I said before, Cody is a phenomenal driver. Jonathan, phenomenal drivers. I got lucky. I got also unlucky in Monza and crashed in Suzuka, but it was great. I mean, I put a lot of effort in this season. Tried my best. The Ferrari is not the fastest car right now, but it suits me, and
that's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm happy.
It doesn't matter how fast the car is. If you don't enjoy driving it and you're not comfortable in it, it's never going to work. So, first and foremost, you got to like driving the car and you got to be comfortable in it. So, yeah, I admire you for sticking with it. Because the Ferrari has definitely not been the fastest car recently on iRacing. So, just stick with what you like, and what you drive well. So that's really cool. But man, little bit of I won't say a surprise. I mean, y'all were all really close together there today. How did you feel coming into this race? Did you feel like this was a track that you could win the championship on?
So that's the funny part. So on Monday, I start doing a couple tests, and I was doing 8:24:25. Yes. By Thursday, I was on the 8:16s, 15s.
Yeah.
And it was a surprise to me that I could do a 8:11 today on the qualification.
That's a good lap.
I guess that was, that lap where everything went right.
Yeah.
And funny enough, the setup that I'm using as well is the one provided by iRacing.
That is pretty funny, but you know those setups are stable, and this track requires a stable setup because you're driving a car that's too far on the edge around here, it will end up biting you. So I have to say that was probably a wise choice on your part to stick with a nice stable setup like that, you know. And again, it goes back to how it feels. You know, if it feels good to you, then you're going to have confidence, and that's really what it's all about. But look, man, congratulations on this win this season. I have to be honest with you. 4 or 5 weeks ago in this championship, I was not paying the amount of attention to you that you deserved. You know, as on the broadcast, you really kind of surprised me there towards the end of the season when your name was, you know, all of a sudden there you were in the championship hunt. You were very fast at times this season. You had a few mistakes here and there, but that's the nature of being a Pro-Am driver, you know. And but overall, man, what a fantastic season that you had, and you certainly put a great race together today when you needed it. You know, I could really appreciate the level of pressure that you were under today, and the fact that you were able to pull this off. So, congratulations.
Well, no, thank you. And one thing that I forgot to mention, thank you very much. My wife, actually, she watches the broadcast, and she said that is very professional. You guys give a lot of information, and I truly appreciate that. And definitely, I'm going to see you guys next season in whatever many weeks to come. I asked Peter if he could start it tomorrow, but he said no.
No, they want to take a couple of weeks off for sure, but I need a week or two off myself. This is I get to sleep in for a Sunday or two.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and I really really appreciate. Thank you for the kind words, and I'll be there next season, and Ferrari will be there.
I look forward. I don't know if you're going to move up to pro or not next year. I don't know if you've decided if that's automatic because you won. I don't know how that works, but if you do, I'll be curious to see how well you run, and if you remain in Pro-Am again, then obviously you're going to be the guy to beat next season in Pro-Am, and so it's going to be fun to watch that. So either way, I think we got some good things coming from you next season. And I'm also going to be curious to see if you stick with the Ferrari or if you decide to go a different direction.
Oh, I can tell you right now, because we talked about the car that you like.
Yep.
There is no way that I'm losing the Ferrari, because first thing that for me in a car, it needs to make your heart beat faster, and the Ferrari does that to me.
There you go.
Right?
There you go. See, that's right. You got a little love affair with the Ferrari. That's good, though.
I do. I love Ferrari. Yeah, I always did.
With that. That's you know, to me, and what the real truth of what all this is about having fun. And and if the Ferrari gets you excited to drive, then that's what really what's all important. So, you got anybody you want to shout out to other than what us? You said something about us earlier, but anybody else that you want to say thank you to?
To the broadcasters, to the guys like TD and Loving. I forgot all the names, and I apologize. I'm bad with names. But to everybody that organized, because it's not easy to keep everybody together. Everybody complains here and there.
That's
right. But they did a great job. They put a fantastic 12 races. And as I said, I like it. I'm going to be back. If I don't win, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be happy racing.
That's right. And that's what it's really all about, just enjoying getting out here and racing. So, again, congratulations to you. Well-deserved championship. You did all the things that it took, and congratulations to you on that. And thanks for making it exciting right down to the end. We appreciate that. And look forward to seeing you next season, buddy.
Thank you very much, and you have a good day. You take care.
All right, thank you. Well, as we bring Ryan in, you make this easy. I get to do 2 interviews in one here, since you covered my race win and my championship all rolled into one. So, first, from my perspective, congratulations. It's been fun seeing you grow over the few seasons. I've been around here, a while, and you were not always the lightning fast guy that's winning everything like you have been as of lately. So I know that the amount of work that you've put in. You've always were quick, but there's a difference in being quick and the way you've performed over the past couple of seasons. So congratulations to you first on today's victory, 42nd lead at the Nordschleife over the course of an hour and a half, quite impressive. And then again on the championship, what a great season that you've had.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Really appreciate the words. Yeah, it was a great season for sure. I remember back in the day when I was fighting for 20th and 15th.
Sure.
When I first joined, it was like season, I think 3 or 4 seasons ago. So that's it's cool to look back. I actually watched one of those races the other day, and it was fun to watch me struggling along, and it's definitely come a long way.
People don't realize, man. There is a true progression that you have to earn. There are very few guys that can just jump into this and be super fast. It's such a maturation process here. You find a little speed, but then you get a little more reckless. And then you overcome that and you calm that down, and you find a little more speed. And it's just a process, and it takes time. There's no substitute for laps, really.
No, that's I'll die on that hill, man. I think a lot of people get stuck at the stage where they're quick. They can run some really quick times, but the consistency just isn't there. And that's something I think I've improved on the most lately, is that, I can set some pretty damn fast times, and then I'll just set them over and over and over again, and I don't make those mistakes that I used to make. I remember the days when I'd be leading a race and for no good reason at all would just ruin the whole thing by making a stupid mistake. And it's
stupid mistake or bad decisions. Trying to pass a lap car at the time when you could have just waited, and those are all part of the learning experience. But what a fantastic growth you've had as well in this league, and it's fun to see. And obviously, with your schedule, it's hard for you to make all the races. I gather. But of course, I'm sure you're coming back next season.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be here when I can. Schedule's gotten a little busier as of late, and probably will be the same thing for next season. So, I wanted to close out this championship with a bang and make sure I won it. But next year it'll probably be up for grabs for someone else, because I doubt I'll be able to make every Sunday, and the way the points are.
If I recall right, I think you said about the same thing last season. So I'm,
Well, no, I only missed like, I think 2 races this whole season.
Yes, but I think at the end of last season,
drops.
though, you said that, hey, I'm not sure how many I'm gonna be here, and
Yeah, I got lucky. I guess, but I can't. It's just in the last month or so really been changing for me. So it's, we'll see. I'll give it my all when I'm here, and we'll see how it works out. But I'm glad to be able to win this one. Put a lot of work in, and while I'm here, I'll just shout out the 2 Bradleys. They do an excellent job running this league. It's not easy at all to keep everybody happy and please everybody and do all the points and the incident reviews. So I really have a lot of respect for those guys, and just want to thank them both for letting us all have fun on Sunday mornings. And I also want to thank you for a great season of broadcasting, and your partners.
Appreciate
it's been
that.
really good fun watching it.
Shout out to Ewan O'Leary. He's been around this league a long time.
I love Ewan. He's awesome, man.
He's been out sick. Actually had his appendix removed after a few weeks of battling with it. Early, I guess around Monday or Tuesday of this week, he had it removed, and so we should have him back next season a little more. He's getting to the point where he's professionally, he's starting to get pulled away to do real life broadcasts. Last year he flew to
That's
Dubai
awesome.
and all kinds of stuff. So doing this, so
That's awesome.
we'll keep him as best we can. But a little shout out to Ewan in case he's watching this morning. He's an important part of this channel, and he's also been a huge part of this league for a long time on here. So just a little quick shout out to him. But
Oh, absolutely. I got to
again,
say real quick too.
Yep.
He's just good for iRacing in general. I mean, I watch him. He's on all the special events.
Yeah.
And I can say confidently he's my favorite commentator
Absolutely.
I've ever listened to. And he absolutely deserves getting his opportunities in the real world. So I wish him the best
could not agree
recovery
more.
and going forward too. It's good for him.
Yeah, I could not agree more. He's my favorite commentator in all of sim racing. And privileged to have him here on the channel working with us. And not to mention that he's just a good person, which
Absolutely.
sometimes those aren't easy to come by either. So, but again, man, congratulations to back-to-back now on championships. And like I said, I'm looking forward to next season. I know you're going to make as many as you can. So, and you're always exciting when you show up. So, we'll see you again next year, and congratulations.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jim.
All right.
I'll let you go.
Yep.
You have a good day, and thanks for everything again.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Well, isn't it appropriate that we close out the season with our drinking buddy? Unfortunately, Tristan left us, but got our drinking buddy in here for the final race of the season.
You're gonna make me look like I'm an alcoholic.
Well, nothing wrong with liking a drink. It's okay.
As long as it's healthy and in a good amount.
Yes, that's right. Actually, it's a little alcohol is healthy for you. It's okay.
That's what they say.
In moderation, everything in moderation. I didn't know that term when I was a kid, when I was younger, but you learn it as you get older, because if you don't do it in moderation, it hurts a lot worse.
Yeah, it does.
But hey, congratulations, man, on your season. You had a pretty good year overall. I mean, you finished. I'm assuming you're going to probably finish in the top 10, right?
I don't know, maybe. We'll see. I was P11 last week, so we'll see. Probably
I
P10
think. I think you did. I think according to what I'm seeing here, it looks like you finished 10th overall. So yeah, good season.
I think
top 10.
Better than expected, honestly. I mean, coming into this season, I paid the 20. I paid the entry fee. But when the first race came, I just couldn't force myself. It was my head was everywhere about racing. But so first few races were really about just having fun.
Yeah.
I would mess up in quali. I would spin on the first lap and then just claw my way back through the field. And in the later part, I got more time to practice. College was, I did all my exams, so I had more time. And that's when the results started coming in. So yeah, P10 far better than I thought it would be. I think I've done much more races than I thought I would. I only missed 3. So overall, really, really, really happy. I have a gap to close to Ryan, because we were always there somewhere, but this season he's just on. So that's what I'm aiming for next season.
Well, and I tell you what, you had a hell of a run today, man. You finished up 24 spots.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No, I hope you guys saw the overtake on Vladislav, because that was quite something.
Yes. Yeah. I believe we got that on camera, actually.
Amazing.
Yeah. No, that was good stuff. Well, y'all had a good battle there for a while. Y'all were, side nose to tail there for a lap or two at least. Y'all had a good battle there.
Yeah, he's a quick guy.
Yes.
And in the first pit stop, I took tires, but he didn't. So he ran away And then next, the final stop, I took little less fuel, and I didn't take tires than he did. So those cold tires on the first lap, really helped me get to him. But in those 3 laps, if he stayed on the same tires, it would have been a lot difficult to get past him. He's great, He came in just recently and just gets great results consistently. So
Yeah, he's gonna
up
be
him.
a good one. I was glad when he joined, and he's fun to watch, and he's pretty quick. So looking forward to seeing him stick around. For next season. I'm assuming you're going to come back for next season as well.
We'll see. I hope I'll do my best to be here, but of course, college, work.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes.
Life happens, but I'll do my best to be here. It's such a great group, such a great league, great calendar, great cars, great broadcasting. Just fills up my whole weekend with something to do, and I love doing it. So I'll be back.
All right, good. That's good to hear. All right, buddy. Congratulations again on a good season, and look forward to seeing you progress next year because you're going to be starting out far ahead of where you started out this year. So it'll be curious to see if you can get enough of the races in, how good you do. I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you for the kind words.
All right, buddy.
I'm gonna go out now. Another beer for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Post us a picture now.
I will. Don't worry.
All righty. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you next season.
Take care, Jim. All the best.
See ya.
See ya.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for season 5 of OGRL. Sure, season 6 is right around the corner. I don't know if there's been an official date released yet, but all that'll be coming soon enough, I'm sure. I personally want to thank the twin Bradleys for having us in to broadcast this season. I've been around this league a long time. In fact, I would go as far as to say that Bradley Lovings is probably the reason that I'm broadcasting now. When I first joined this league, not too long after, he tried to talk me into starting to broadcast so I could cover the Thursday night trucks here for them. And one thing led to another, and ultimately I did get into this, and then started covering the series for another broadcaster, and then the rest is history. Now we're here with my own channel, and I appreciate those guys for giving me a shot and allowing me to come in here and be me. I'm not necessarily the most traditional broadcaster, but I certainly have my own style. But again, thanks to those guys for letting me do this, and thanks for everyone out there that's been in the chat week in and week out and watches these races. Thank all of you for showing up here, and just looking forward to next season. So thanks for tuning in to Motor Mouth Broadcasting, where legends are born one corner at a time.